anopay you say you go so ye nema kra ye be hwe na ya hwe na enanopay enkoma ye bedie no eye to ho asem ne ye beka inflation eye 23.6% April ye twam abusum ye twam yi na 23.6% no mfie bi ni ye nya nuru ho saa ye nuru sam pempenso no ana sisi akokoba saa ede na mana akokoba saa ebra inflation no ye edu 23.6% no na yanto transport fare mu na yanto transport fare mu transport fare ne atumu busum ya eye meyi yanto transport fare mu so na se lorry fare mu menka ne saa ema niam abo kosoro utwi mu tamma niam abo akosoro eno so na be ma inflation akosoro nti ede na ebetumi aye na inflation be bia wo no enhwiri nkoso de because more na ekosoro no more na ka o manisi kasam more na ema ahokyere yes eba nti ye behwe na sasam no ye di ho enkomo ye person se eye asemhia ECG ane Ghana Waterfront so prese wo madwuma mo ye no omo hia sika no ma serve ye pa no ma som yen kane na susu de bia so na flow de bia enti ECG proposal about 130 something if my memory serve me right 100 and simple 148%. And Ghana Water so I propose 370%. Na yebehwe yebedi hu sankom. So ehia se yede ma o mana. Eka enkrofo de o no maje awie. So mo je a na so mo je a anka yebe ehu be hia se betu SSK. Sankom ne yebedi. Afei mampani se enye krado se sese no eye nyina ese kabom ne akekere oman no enti enya krado se yebetu ato you should be prepared and ready to pay taxes to develop the country enti yebedi sankomo no so yedi bewure mu a na yekọ afei ye levy so yeto aba na ye levy no na aban project about 6.9 billion Ghana cedis in fact 7 billion. Now so niama baku bi no men 70 no o ma sign ahwe projection mu bia de aba from about 4 billion Ghana cedis. Na sai sika no na abanche se betumi abome ya kekere oman no e be ka ho bi am ya kekere baba tutum se per all ministers any ministries awodo no sama omoka and government communicators say kan say ye levy there e be bo oman papa pay ye pa. Ba na bi no mo ka say ye levy e be no before e be pass kra no ye ba kokosi awa ye be collateral akokwaje besia ye ka ho asem e ma abamu panyifo be ka say ente saa. I quite remember Honorable John Kuma, Deputy Minister of Finance eka sasam no say yen nyusu ye levy as collateral emfa enkonkwaje besia bia. But and then so finance minister so can be before say one he can't guarantee say yentumi emfa kwaje besia. And the possibility say between akwaje besia no e wo ho. So which is which? Ye can say yemfa kwaje besia amagana for kuma to moyem ama ya age atumu ana. Na se jutumu wi a ya sentwa be ka say de be kwaje besia na. Eno ye nsem na ye behwe na ye di hu nkomo. Nti na bedwafo a omodo omomre afam yen ema yebedi enkomo no eye me benkum so pe eye Benjamin Esuman ono eye executive director ono otimi benkum so hai executive director eye sorry there Ghana wapin osikasam tutuye mu wabekaminsa e wofi ha mana kwa aba afa do di so pe di ni ono so woni benkum so a o shedi kiki no ye friend no Eric Amakutwum oye national organizer hopeful say opeso ko boabo adoma no de ma MPP enti wono nso ewe ye nchen ewa ha ono nso sikasam wabin wom afa ba minifa so a me wo Dr. Adams Asafute. I hope I get the name correct. Asafute. Okay. Asafute. Oye senior economist ewo UPSC University of Professional Studies Okay. ono so ewo me nchen ewo ha ono so economy business sikase wa bin wo mu na afi ne kura no me wo abrante baako eye set ofori twumasi ono MD managing director edema is it Alien Trust Alliance Trust and wabin so sikasam ene etoji emu pa ntenze na de metuma ka say sikasika wo ma bin sikasam mu nko na na mo fia bedwa fo ma kwa ba o de me share wa hada meboa and any day di kan
first day
my first day at school
yes
akwaba sure and I you share that
you share that but
me de me no share that until so your first day on my show until my first day at school so sa until setting so ha you brother and this last 2 weeks Croatia we fear ha and Eric so the onion anadwo nyina me ni ntahia ono ye ne ref me no no ntwa me so me ye ya wo ho na se man fie Eric na o ka ma obi amfi no enti mama makwa ba wie enne ye bedi nkomo na ye nhase emfa emfiri eye ECG ene Ghana Water Company Limited wo proposed utility tariff increment no ye nhase emfa emfiri ho ne hwese etese na ma hwese emfiri eye doc so doc minimum se watena sidin wonim said ye oman ye nyina mo hoden nsem sitie me electricity sitie wo hwe ye nso ho nsem so ase na sitie wo hwe reason sitie a wo mo se o mo pe increment no akoso sa still na no mi hu increment ya wo so mo hwe no reason fufuro bia apart from dada na yet no are they justified except fantasy choice esika no.
Thank you very much, Agya Kwabena.
Yes, sir.
First of all, let me say to you that
very
good. I'll be blending it as we go along. And thank you very much for having me on your program.
Sure, you're welcome.
And congratulations for the job that you are doing at UTV here.
Thank you very much.
And I also want to take the opportunity to greet all Ghanaians.
Sure.
And say that the system is tough, but
sure.
Very well. Agya Kwabena.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I can say electricity, or if you call it utility tariffs, have increased so astronomically over just a short period of time. For instance, in a simple household, let's say a 2-bedroom household, we bet you have electricity, be say 100 cedis. So 100 cedis no, I bet you be say 1 month, or depending on the gadgets that you use, be say 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
Right now, when you buy the same 100 cedis, 1 week na enso. And enye onunkwa, water is there, even data, credit, everything. The question is, what exactly is the problem? If we wake up, we say inefficiency. The people are not managing the companies well, or whatever. But we fail to actually go into detail. What exactly are these inefficiencies? What are we talking about? Is it, sir, the way of investment, the kind of investments that they embark on, is not proper, it's not ideal, they are not generating the required, revenues, or that they take the monies for the investment, but the monies tend to vanish somewhere along the line. So from where I sit, and for purposes of introduction, I would say that 148% increase in tariffs, electricity tariffs, is dangerous for this country. Water is coming up over 300%. I think it will be too difficult for the ordinary Ghanaian. Now, from where I sit, the essence of economic policy is to look at the ordinary Ghanaian. Say, who take a decision be, say, you want to improve the economy. You want to look at the impact of that economic policy on the ordinary Ghanaian. Now, why not say ordinary Ghanaian? The market woman, the ordinary worker that wakes up in the morning and picks trotro, hustles to work, and comes back. And at the end of the month, over 60 to 70% of Sika Yachanu goes into just these 2 or 3 items, transportation and maybe feeding. Aside that, where else can the Ghanaian, that person, get any money to support his, other needs? Until if we wake up and we are saying that, oh, we have to increase tariffs, we have to do this, the most important thing is we should look at the impact on the ordinary Ghanaian. We have a system, it's weak in terms of welfareism. Elsewhere, when a policy is promulgated and is going to be implemented, they look at the impact and see that, oh, okay, somebody who earns a certain amount of money will not be able to sustain, will not be able to live in such an economy. And so what do? We have to do A, B, C, D. But in this case, it is not happening. And that is dangerous. I wish, sir, I can be able to express myself in tree. Because I know, sir, UTV is...
But what the
Yes. So, all that I want to say is that policymakers must sit back, look at the issues critically. Over the period, for the past couple of years, major state enterprises, they are making losses. Omuboka. And a car Omubono is no small money. In billions of cedis. Why? On top of that, they are borrowing heavily. If you look at Sika almost say for the administrative cost, say salaries, this, that one continues to increase. Which company does that?
Wow, Boka. One so Sika was saying no so costro.
So these are the things that we have to look at as a country.
But doc, what can say be raising some my here. For instance, ECG and wo mo PRO no betena ha. Ekasa chiri mu niema hodo a omso losses bi a wo mo enya ne niema kitin bi anya hwe kora no so no oman no ekọ nanim gridco fo gridco Ghana Gas na VRA wo mu nyina so wo mu de kakra nti ese bitumi yesika na itumi de epukushin wo mu nyina no mutumi eye adwuma ne ye no omo 7 years se na ba yesi de nso benya power no no so a 7 years Ghana Water nso eka the same thing said enne yensuo nyina asai enti ne se nsuo na ye omo de fire pipe mu ba no ansa no beso no so na aba no se crolin no enka nanka we ba ko no mu yuso a ende so mu yuso ba 10 na se 20 anso mutumi e de asoni nsuo no so amaya no enti no se ade ne na enye enti na wo mo hwe asiesie no ama yetumi de omutumi de papa enti overhead cost no ebe cost obviously any reasonable reasons are I say to be to me say to be so masemani ye
Kwabena.
Yes sir.
5 years ago reason being na ECG and Ghana Water omutumi ma say that is the basis of asking for more money. If they come and they say they want increment or they are increasing, what are the reasons? These are the same things. That we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to do that. And so for me, the reasons have not changed. I should ask you to look at, let's say, the power, the utility value chain from production to consumption. Who are within it? So let's start from VRA. They produce power. And then the other producers as well. Way down to ECG, Gridco, and others. How much power, what quantity of power does VRA produce? What is the staff strength of VRA? What is the administrative cost? A cost to now produces our power. No? Then they channel it to ECG and others. How much does it cost ECG to distribute power to our homes? What are the inefficient levels or inefficiency levels? How much power do we lose in the transmission process? All these things have to be taken into consideration. And so if you just wake up, say, oh, we want to do this, we want to do that, legacy debt, if you call it so, and all of those things, I think that it is proper for us to look at the various components, the various operational components, like how do we do this? Can we do it a little better? If we are able to map up all these areas, we can be able to eliminate this inefficiency because we've been talking about them. But nobody really has come out to say that these are exactly the things that we're talking about. We need to be able to identify them.
Talk with us, Eric. My memory so now. Reasons somebody buy and send a doc can ye ni muno e ade a afibia say I believe you person mutumu bia no mo kire so person 7 ye o person musum ye person sum ye would you say utility companies no wo munye bribi ye anu ti na yedo bia ye duro no anasa den na so sanko betumi aye a mo ye anka betumi abo ma sa tariff increment ye kan wasem de bia no e betumi ahwe na fe say o mu yes kan say de ma o anamboa Eric
eja Kwabena me da say the deacon within Chiabema in 24 Mabetom platform where soon and one cassa. Now, so they are Italia. And so you say, oh, mammy,
Eric in Shami, you crack.
Now, almost share UTV and paying now, so within Jackets here,
yeah.
UPS, I'm a former student of UPS. That and IPS.
She's of professional studies.
You know, me professor waha.
That's right.
They say me yakolapa.
Now I'm an adjunct professor, adjunct lecturer.
Lecturer.
I'm say, you say, enema ekoso wo ewiase mu ha no. Baby bia say wo ye obi a we need in sema ekoso we are some abon say nkoma yedi my bebre enso di sankomo no okeka niema fa eto ho ene niema ekoso ewo oman mu ha ene okan bibi for inflation ho ne ade enti no ene na me start efi so far ejumako bi to say ECG and say Ghana Water omunina nso no ewo oman mu ha enti no enema omode eye ejuma no nyina nso no obroni fra bibi exigencies omunina omo exposed to sanema nina enti no na I to say enema omode anasa kadia omode ye ejuma no so ne bo ayeden akosro eyesa ha kakra. But apart from that, and also, enya nunku enti na ebia say ye jit tumutra keke say omaba say omoba be pray entumu no na ya dia tumutra keke eno de ye yesa say be na just ya anya adwuma ni ye enti na em say mri bi etwa mu no ye yan Ghana for ye de mra call parliament ene ye ti abedwako bi efe no PURC PURC no omodwuma ne say abibia no say sa utility companies no eyo madrin say omo pese omo to omo tariffs no mu ye be yem pense mu ana say ye ne omo be dinkita ho na ya hwede enti a say etumu ana say ye tumu ana say ye ngintu enti no mim say edwuma no so ekoso em say na watwe etwa mu yi me hu say ECG ne netco ne the other stakeholders no omo sheshia ebedwako bebre a omo so no omo kasa and as omunim dear utilities in them. And to sure say by the time I'm with you know, in your able who say ABR 148 no a budget to man as the engine too, but say in Drews are and Pempenson. But Dr. Akasano can be for operational friend is saying of ABR ECG efficiency. I have a view on that. The question say be operational efficiency and optimum efficiency. And they be a committed to say even when it comes to even say government institutions, they say they are more VRA, ne Gridco, ne Ghana Gas, no. I say bako de bako ka. That's my view. Yeah, probably be optimum efficiency level. Ebia unya stray and I say teku. And now betimi dia ye wadwuma nyina. What you say? Ama edwuma na wo ye no. E dey emfaso e dey ebebre the other. And you know, management my friend be to say strategic business unit. And you know, even though say I didn't know you know, you bet me the value account no. What do I say? And no say sika by all means no exchanging hands. What do I say?
Yes.
And just say because and then my air cost so I'm saying now we have to rethink even the whole energy sector in terms of how various organizations, you know, communicate and as relate to each other. You bet me I understand. And I think so efficiency level no there. No yeah management decision. Say and now me no can say so only ECG for no e ka so me so operational losses. And I say omo angasa nkofo a omo ato electricity no omo ntimi nji sa sika no. And I say nkofo a omo pay kweti kwan bi so a omo timi etwen electricity no omo ntua. What you say? Nti no before I Ghana for Kwabena to say I say yeah tua more than this year ye tua no. I say omo so omo timi convincing and say say nyama we nyina no I dey omo ye. Be jitu mu say na metie PR no ka so copper prices ne enema omo dey akande omo dey adwuma no ne bo akoso. I understand. But and to say be say we have to start thinking outside of the box in terms of how you manage state utilities. And until now, okay, the in Komana, about 10 years ago, I started about Millennium Challenge accounts. And we could PMU, PDS.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of near a year, you bet me a mass state utilities, you know, I am more efficient. And you know, and I mean, say all the things that I see what I'm saying, any be brain. We have to start thinking about a choir. You better so state utilities, you know, able to be more efficient. Apart from that, you know, we say business, we be to say Agya, manufacturing kakran. So, okay, so the 148% ever beto the margins as well. Every ground to mean and to a so. What you say? You know, I say a crime business so. Agya, you will a bit may review tariffs are Agya when it comes to even the manufacturing sector and as an industry in other places. Now, no, I'm I hear him kakra. Into the American say, yeah, train how engagement with the PURC, you know, any other stakeholders, you know, ever come. But a Jumani there, saying no, you can't boom. You pay coin be so one. ECG no bet imagine. What you say because your customer so I dey back so open say o kania no eden. Ejina so meboa.
Yes.
We obi a wo dey kania no so ye adwuma. Also o person hu say eno so eden. Ejina so a obetimi dey aye we adwuma obenya eso mfa so. Ye kan we nyina no okeka we nyina boma. Ena ema productivity a ye kan eden ekoso. Enti no ye be pese kita hodie no so no e be din in such a way say one companies na ye ka ho asem no betimi gina ayo modwuma na emom so no emfa o how bebre emeto ankrankre effort so afen so emfa how bebre emeto ejumako because there's always a certain balance I say ultimi because one show here and you can inflation once the economists for normal we call the theoretical definition as you more money chasing fewer goods me boy everyone say nipa be sika bebre e wo oman ni mu na enema no e dey ketwa enti am e bona koso but udom we su koso ultimately say the cost of production any overhead enti e bia obi a wo eduma transportation cost fuel cost energy cost ni nyina ka ho a e ma prices koso me boy enti no enema ye de betutu akwan mu e be ma sa prices na dey aba form and also ehu hia na ya ma your friend saying Ghana for ho aheha kakra because the crane say do maybe ye cancer economics in wasema na ibi mo e dey emotions what you say the crane say and na me no can say untimi enya analysis bia about economy bia on tre ne e cost wo ewiase afa na nyina what you say ebu mo ha okobo covid pe say menka and so omo kra ne ma efi amano ne ba kromo bitimi aka cho say answer na covid ne be ban so kra bi na so tia $900 ebia per container and then e bona cost to 9,000 and no nye aban inform so
ya baba ho
no what you say they be cannot say
ya baba ho
a whole global challenge ye nyina no ye try ecosystem say ye be pe kwan bi so a ye be fa ye ho be hin
okay
the beka so e dey twa to ne say ye nyina no ye je to say enema ni bi wo ho a wo hwe e bi ade akọ even into the inflation basket what you say enema e wo mu na bo say wo fa ne baako a enema na e wo mu no ye enema ya krafi amonani we to be fair and say your friend imported inflation what you say enti no nkomo ade bi ye di ni say ya ankasa Ghana for no ye mpe kwan bi so a enema ye di ye hye ye fra any ade ye num ni
ye be inflation ye be ba ho ben say ho no ho pro pass or person ba inflation ye be ba ho nsuro ye be ba say ho no ye be bi ho hia pa say yetumi ko ni ko di nkomo ho pa ya sem hia papa na ya kai mame ayi bra but na say yati say na government institutions airport Ghana airport e di yisijika betumi aka say almost all the ministries even ministry of finance kranka sankasa no omukra ye so mo di yisijika yes eti sankrofo nyina de ka na yankwankwaje na say ye beka say yentua eto ni bi enfa enka ho na yen increase tariff na you're right it says wo ma dika no eka no ebi ye boom eti say etu agi sika nyina wi a anka ho behia say ye discuss ankoko wure mu ana afei wo hwe say this utility companies na anyom na esi ye blame wo mo wo tibia ye wo mu imu esan say sanka wo mo ani kun madwuma mo ye no ho ya ayo madwuma se de so mo ye no a anka ebi anka ye no ba bi anka ye wo
yo Kwabena that's chia UTV ashefo and them mende omanya adaje ye yakopon asese wato nsuo ama asase no ayefom
na sunsu no so yiri yen em se bi afa ba ne na yiri afa wo
se ye di ye huni na bancha na gatas da ye fichire ye etitimu dia nsuo na ntumi yiri ensa enti ese ye di ye huni na nsuo ta enyiri yen Kwabena yes asema o debe today aya asem hia kese pa nipa yo bob brako wenimi se unya kanea eba wo kurase ana wo fie ama obra wo bono asetena wotena no ema hoto eba wo so se sisi edum kanea Kwabena wonam unduane ye hye fridge mu ade na besai esan se ye fi tete abrabo no mu edu abrabo tene bi siso a se wenyan kanea another tititi amba wo fi a ama asetena enye de saa so na ye twem ewa mbra ye won kura se ye de bucket anapa ko sensuo ewo riverside esu bonte ho na ye de befie anse ye bedware anse akọ school samba ni so twem nti se unya pipe ewo fie a otumi ebie shower udware ana wo de bucket si anu bu nsuo ko dware a ama obra na wo bɔ no in development ebem utumpon abra bɔ no mu what na say enti water and electricity de ensem hia kese pa da aban esese da aban ene Ghana ni bia akoma so se yenya kanea ni enya nsuo a obra na ye bɔ no emu nye de ebetwe ye kra asan ewo impuntu a ye pese ye tumpon no mu ECG say obehia say ye to electricity bill as you say ye tue ye to mu 148%. Ghana Water so say on so behia 334%. In chemu ni say Ghana Water say desalination plant Professor Mills ne John Mahama mo eye si nungwa say epunsuo na da hona yakopon de akyeye no yentumi sa na yemfa chemicals engum na enkyene ne ade ewom no yentriti na nsuo no yemfa nsuo no na yemfa enom yemfa mbo ye bra yentumi fa bi nsi ma yentumi fa ebi ndware enko edwuma na efi bi so entumi ni aduane because echinsuo apunsuo usa enkyene nko a enti se be triti na yi ebi a yare bi ewom na esase yi enkyene na fi mu no and a friend desalination process no enti Professor Moss e the science technology we omo de fi Holland abrotimemu and e de buy it is the first of its kind say na bibi memu ha no na ye side ha na ebi ni ha da na omo ko fast technology de buy Ghana Water say desalination plant no e bo omo ka enu nti ena omo de ye engineer so ba ko say yento Ghana Water bill a yetua no yentumu the same nti desalination plant enye ende ena besi ho esi wache aban we ba so ebiri du ya aban no to desalination plant no mu ntu ko nungwa ne teshi ebiri bia nsuo ho ebekọ atwe pa so obeka ya aban ehun se ohia plant no na aban no sanso biye Ghana yetumi nye sika ama yetumi nye sika o yetumi de grow senior aban ne pebi aban ne tumi ye aban ne tumi de bi kwafa private jet ma MP so ombra parliament beto aba yentumi aban ne tumi nye sika emfa mbo desalination plant no ho bra ama Ghana fo nye nsuo enom enti yese enu nti yento water bill mu ama Ghana fo ni ntua bill a eda ho e wo desalination plant no ho problem who shut it down desalination plant remember say na a loan and a buying a in the name of Ghana Water it is a was two na say one produce nsuo amatesi nungwa ne labadi foni ade ade na temafo na ede omo ho ato desalination plant no so no omo mu ntumi enye nsuo na ntua omo bill because what tumu a what the sumbo no ko bo hwan utu mu no loan of Professor Moss ne joma ma ko je e de be ye plant no abrani no ono be gini sika bosum bia so na wentua ebe compound
na Ghana Water for kan say ebo mo kan no na nya no kre say ebo mo kan so ampa
ebo o ka say ye de ya quite feasibility study say the plant we see ha na atwi ponsuo no ba na the chemicals we gumu a e betumi nyinsu ama omo te hei na aban no ansori prekope na ye paper e de krata ato ho ni o se be ni sei e benya sei e pade sei nipa so e benya nsuo nipa sei be tue nsuo ne bo ne sei nti etue ne bo ne sei e benya sika ne bi na etumi de abo the desalination plant no bra what you say enye se desalination plant ko pon na ma be si ho yen sese ya saye de ba nti untumi entwa ho nkotum na se afe miensa o sete watum ewie na obebie wie a waka kire se webie ni nti no ekada ho nti ekada ho sa de a yentua bill na efe nkotua saka no na de na otumu what na make na say omo na nsuo eho ekọ na wo nungwa ne nkokọ aso no a no mu enya nsuo no ometua water bill ana eso beton si o tanka mu ana meboa
Yes.
nti obafra tanka driver no di nsu abre no nti ontwe sika ma Ghana water nti karaba beda ho eno nti na problem no ebio omde sombo bo say amanfo apolutu nsuo nti okro di kaka nti galamsey ne sound winning for no ama chemical dodo a chlorine dodo a mbetum da treat nsuo no eso mode mbohon de ba ansa metum ayi tama omo bill no kosro asɛm a Ghana fo na sɛ yɛbɔ ho mɔden sɛ yɛbɛboa na galamsey ni sound winning basa yɛyɛ a ɛmfa mbra kwan so no yɛbɛtwem ti etwem saa no a ɛno Ghana water ntumi nya justification ɛmbɛka kyerɛ sɛ yɛntua sika dodoɔ ɛma ɔmo no mfa nkɔtiti nsuo wata meka na sɛ nti ɛno so yɛfa nto na ɛnso aban no so ɛwɔ asodie sɛ galamsey no so ɔso ɔko a ɔnko ne yie that's me ba ha ne yɛka galamsey ho asɛm so aban no so ɔko galamsey ɔnko galamsey no nto aseɛ yie mekaye say galamsey eye danger embre bedu a Ghana wan hwe yebehia say be import nsuo aba kroma amasamanfo nya bi anom esa brabon ya hwe ne abo ya tena ha abo ye ho enu nti ya say nsuo ama Ghana water entumi nya bi ma yen enti asudi da so almost obi say here eti ikura kese mu no per cubic meter of water yetua no say yetua about 3 CD 29 pesos per cubic meter. Na omo increasing na omo di nsuo omo to nsuo wa tankers mu ni ade ko omo no omo nko we no omo no etua 10 CD per cubic meter. Ti omo an assessment no. So assessment omo ye with scientific proof. Organization ben and the say research academy say omo to nsuo ne omo yewa Ghana water no difference of a price you tia for nsuo no ne boss dodo me gitum say so wo frɛ tankers on fa nsuo mbro fia ne boy ya den esen Ghana water nsuo me gitum but ye to me nka say enu nti Ghana water so nto ne bo no mu na ene ne nyɛ because ono oba omkuta track obeto fuel egum wafa lebre siso ansa odi aba
Yes.
Ghana water de nyame adom ye lay pipe once and for all. Into the capital investment, it is spread over time, long period of time. It's because yet a pipe no ode share from afibia no besesa. Ese ho na nsuo FM sa what am I say. Into analysis no maka entumi ntaso mu. What am I say. Me dey no besi wonom. Me ba Ghana electricity company ECG. What dey kan kan. Yet ya na Ghana airport company. Akofo sika almost 100,000 Ghana cedi. Ekoto Christmas tree ebesi airport say Ghana for 2 kwan anase abrofo no omo ba Ghana visit na oba Christmas a omo nhwe dua no Christmas tree no na eno no mu hu a omo se Ghana etumpon we Ghana water yes ebo sa brei wo Christmas tree hu na Ghana water e the ECG
Ghana airport
e the Ghana water e the Ghana Electricity Company Limited e de omo ka sika pempem omo ntuaye eni brenti ye omo tutu emika ekotwa one of the old terminals omo use sisi here no omo kotwa light mo ho say mo metua musika na mama kania me ne kire mu ne say okay biom o say Ministry of Finance kra at the electricity company ka over 400,000 Ghana cedis. Judicial Service Chief Justice na pam for omoye I put to you contempt of court. Say we that's make a contempt ya Mr. Mofenchame. Omo kra the ka Chief Justice na Judicial Service. Omo the electricity company ka 762,000 Ghana cedis. Say me komu a ministries, departments and agencies are at the electricity company ka bubro. Saka no na etua. Aban in electricity company say up 148%. Esan say or the car on to mean ne sanka ne sika no a ene omi sa aban. Omni finance minister nkotra say judicial service there Ministry of Finance there fiscal service there ne all the state institutions there no Ministry of Finance na say otuaka. I say Ministry of Finance afibia aban ebe budget a ye hwe wo institutions way sika obehia including your utilities your budget na ye dey akọ budget no mu say Ministry of Agya Kwabena sika dodo say na afi yet aban me ma ye be twa January e be wie be kop November December ye de budget for ba no na ye se wo sika na ye se ye de ma no ye de ma wo enso be contract emu akasa no na bia ye fa sika ni na ma wo enti eba de sa obedi electricity ne Ghana water for ka what na make na say ye say chief justice waji sika no wedi o e judicial service ho sika na se ba no amba enti amba Ministry of Finance na say ye jire no na offer sika no na do ba betua onim subambani e Ministry of Finance on subambani e Ghana Ministry of Finance on say ogigi sika even NHI wagigi sika say ko NHI kra sika no enko ya gigi sika all right say etua judicial service for sika say na nka omusum nya bi tua electricity company of Ghana ka sika na enko
ekọ infa
eya bi de mama ebe fa private jet na be for de ade
Agya Kwabena.
My wealthy brother, my now ebio Kwabena electricity company who kind of justification almost say maintenance of their system Kwabena ye to come ha and na ye share han ye di ye ho bone ama United States minia brother Chumu akasa odika kraka United States for edge sika anka omo de brain omo freeze no cancel amount $190 million Kwabena anka ECG for the $190 million no ebe siesi omo fidie ne omo lines a aye dada ne ade ama se sika no anka ya Ghana for ka uye oman ho kyerɛw aban a ono te ne ho so a ne bibi woni nsɛm sɛ mɛboa wo enti ye say fa sa kwan we so na memboa wo wa hye sika to sɛ o fa sa kwan we so a o fa so ina na me sika we e boa wo edu pemia baby a ye di ye ho boni nti $190 million asenka eseba electricity company of Ghana ho samonje na mo fansiesie mfidie no America for say so bamboni a aban na de ne dinti metwem se sika me fa mamo enti ende ye ka kire me no wo say yentua more than yes say yetue by 148% ansa electricity company for enyi sika e de kosiesie mfidie we Kwabena we koya na ye bae we asɛm a ɛsɛ Ghana for ye tena ha na ye bɔ ho sire na ye bɔ nsɛm sa aban ayade we aban ana edi ye hwambo to the extent say na nka $190 million wo de be say ECG mu say on siesie ni mfidi a ende nka ye metena nka say ye ma mo 148% because $190 million no nka betumi akọ sa ekọ eda ye nimi aban na di hu boni edi ye boni nti ene ende ye bebre nti aban an hwe bra pambo ama America fo nya gidi onimu ni afa $190 million na be say ECG mu no enti na ende me no we se yetua ebio yeah ma ye nka na bebre ECG here Ghana for na company say ende ye ntua increment bi ama ECG egu a ama na esesi form ECG say omo ma ya resim say ye je 148% we tumu a for the next 5 years omo nton kanie mu ama ne mboro every year bia ama ne mboro 10%. Enti say ende say utua bia bosome wo behia bia be 200 Ghana cedis. E wo fie. Next year omo de be less than 20 cedis. E na ba be ka ho. The following omo de be 20 cedis. Na ba be ka ho for the next 5 years. Enti omo nko beyond 20 cedis. Zana mpache enti nkan no ke be boa yen a ye te Ghana am ye di yi na asem ne say PURC for ebetumi ni ECG for assign contract chenchen enu nti se etua 148% ni wi a sa less than 10% annual increment no ebe ba so ana cause e hu bi pay PURC for any ECG for akọ terms bebre. I'm saying that the terms no mekono it should be binding. As I say, you know,
agreement.
Agreement.
So mo je a ye hwe kwan sa mo so be deliver.
Exactly. Ebio omusika akose Ministry of Finance o ntua ewo for all the ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, you know. Any state-owned enterprise, some state-owned enterprises. Ghana Airport Company is a limited liability company. It's a state-owned enterprise. It's not a ministry, it's not a department, it's not an agency. Why should you owe the government? What you also, who sikano the open over the year? What be quiet koto trees, Christmas tree at the bar
Send a decoration. Send the use bre. Until occasion time, I say, you move beyond say, yes, your town.
Say, usike shwa, and I would do a big car. On sorry, inquire party will feel unbo ban, a man into your feel rasso, yes, or be two. Would you feel waka untia odanka? On by your party, open house party. To say to me, I secure our be more about party in fear and say, to me and your party. Yes, our landlord number two. Would you see the car not a party who could talk Christmas tree? Yes, sir. And say you took your two airport to me, do Sikana food because Sikana was seminal or they go for Gadam, Abrabo. What am I gonna say?
Okay, good. That's it. The way the man flow, I'm sure I'm here, Dean. I'm so on the on Oka, we had enough. So I said the frustrations. I know I was not. I buy and come here, Dean. Mama sikasa fa kodidwa. Maso wasere. Mama sikasa fa kodidwa. Ukọ baby a wo maboka. Ne ma no so waton. Adan a me nam kwan so America no. Ba ku yi to fam. Ana nso to na gare no before ye. Ntina se for losses na maye no. Na masama odwitire na ode awuram. Afi do bo ba wo se sika na anso enti man bi nka ho. Obakoso ayesa onipa na odi dwa ma ne dwetire no obakoso ma ne se je fakọ awuri se ne ma no so de be free bebre do de free enso no won konkwaji sika no fa maaye wonu se san kokoji sika no kra ba anko o mbi se sika bia mfi wo nchen bio saa oni na wo ne edi dwa na so wo ma ne dwetire so fa akọ adwuma no wo asani individual no akade na nka be no
yo Jacob na me fa ko nya achia na match ya TFO nyina me gidi se nkomo a ye di ne nei e nkomo ehia pa ebi se mra e wo mu no enye mra emu ode a hu se obehia obi na osere onwenwen dabi na eto dabi otumfo otumi wa eso owro kawa fa abati which ye utility companies ECG ne Ghana Water dumadi omuni yedie no se oman se de o ma scenario example a o ma ye se mesuma ana me so asene ukoba bia na odin sapan e na aba ukoba bia na odin sapan na aba nanso ekamia ye se mi ni hwe ye fa ho nti wo ba wo ka de na metumi aka na te se mi jane sa se ye hwe ECG say company ewo ho a ne a oye ewo mremu no certain side of Ghana ono pe na ema electricity say ye bi adwuma yi wo ha na honkwa na wo ye say adwumadie no ha kwan ba so na afa so eboka
a competition bi anim enti obi ekoto a onko ba bi nkoto oni other place sanka mankoto ha metumi akọ akoto na me wan han nanso I say yeah story ni different kakra menkwa na meye nanso me ya no maboka na say obakofu akonu odansini ni hwan oba bia onya good reason said the minimum pay for the kan no for the past years so we share reasons for Nenti a omoto etuom omo rate mu a wohwa na wo de to sone so wo be wo se ade ba ko na da bia ye gina so ka obeka ne ne de ade be chi na da ho obeka ne ne de ade be chi na da ho o ma reason o ma example bi say ECG big government agencies and state enterprises edwonka sabe be na otwi mienu me ko makura ase
ɛwɔ fa kabra na me kɔ ani aba betwa electricity wo hwe obi a yɛtwa ne electricity bill mu a yɛatwa mu a ne ka wɔde ebia 120 Ghana cedis yɛtwa mu obi de ka 300 Ghana cedis yɛtwa mu na waba institution a ɔno wɔ se obetua na obetua ɔde ka thousands millions nanso yɛgyae enti wogyae wɔ nyinaa wie wohwɛ data ɛwɔ hɔ a akyerɛ sɛ aban ne nnwuma kuo a ɛka ɛba ECG ka yɛde a bɛyɛ 60 to 70% deɛ ɛhɔ na ɛhyɛ nanso eduru so a ne yɛgya wɔ mo ɛmɛ sɛ ɛno deɛ yɛde fa ha ne yɛyi afiri ha nom yɛbɛyɛ budget yɛbɛ approve budget no sɛnea nnuanom di kan yɛn budget a yɛ approve no ɛkɔ ha ansa na wobɛyɛ budget no wo kyerɛ dwumadi a wode saa sika na wode ahyɛ wo budget no bɛyɛ nanso yɛ approve wi a saa sika no sɛ wode ka saa sika a wode yɛ sɛ anka wode bɛtua utility no wode kɔyɛ dɛn obi enyia no na enam sɛ ECG ne Ghana water ɛne nnwuma ɛte saa etumi fa ɛkwan foforo so bɛgye nti enti ɔyɛ ya na wafa kwan foforo so na waba abɛgye me de ensusu ya da bi ɛda metirim ɛne sɛ ECG Ghana water anka ɔmo di dwuma sɛ private company ana ma bie ma dwuma bi ɔmo wɔ mu a ɛno a wo baaye ankoye ɛna wo baaye ankoye just say drum pempen so bi a management yetumi ema omo some performance contract enya nea ye de ya no beka nko a ebi se sa aban po na appoint mpo a megidi se onkrofo bebra omo nim de eba so munya kwanya na omo betumi aye akyense nea ye ye no na afei aban so onkoye tonkwakuo no kura ni dua mama okwan say ECG ye wadwuma de nanso ekame a say okwa na matwe no
wa hye ne dwa no
wa hye
osu san firi ade no
wa ho say be ma one ne yire wo ho no wa hye ne yire ni dwa na wa hye ne dwa ni wi a okokoton ade ba sika no beda sumuya ase a no wayi mu bi no de apio no wi asa kan kire ne yire say wadwuma a wo ye no enso ani enti sumo ne bi akwa aban ho sumoni bi ewo ECG fo ankasa ho ana Ghana water ayeka omumienu abom ebize omumienu dwuma no ebe ho ebize oye na adwuma ono a de asase oka no onka ebize ebia minim de ebia odwene se oka MD no ebia obelusi ni post ana obeyi na firi ho no menti ebia onka ana aban so ema na ni bere wone so se ekina wa anya ade a ekina am de nipa foforo beba meje di se ombehwe omunwuma ye ni etosu biem ene se ye hwe increment omukanya increment de se de ade chi na ade esa no wontumi nka se obekọ wanum a enso wo nkrisi bibi de tie bia no wo hwe the economic situation se de na dollar tin no ene entisa se de no achi na ye to bibi ene ye entisa ye hu se driver fo increase adwadifo increase ECG nso ontumi nka so betena ba bia otena anya danya obepe bibi kakra aka ho bi so ono nso oto nneoma bi na ede ye ne de na emom 148% ene Ghana water mfo de there's obu ya atua ye ntumi nso obra yesu ye nam 300 eno de adabraka ye nhwe ne ye na mom ye hwe bibia eye very reasonable empempenso a ye wo se oman yi mu so ye kika increment of hundreds even from 50s up bia no ya hwe ne ya
edio how beba
me
that say Gameboy say this agenda of increment is generated from the presidency. I don't understand why Ghanaians are still not getting it. It is a master plan from the presidency. Really? Ayo. Shaban say, I don't know why they don't want to accept their mistakes. Amagana. Salifu Idrisu or say, I don't know why Ghanaians like talking too much. Since I became developmentally and politically conscious since 1993, we continue to talk about what we are talking about today, about utility increment. Why can't government sell all these utility companies to private people to manage? Okay. Say PDS na private.
Yes.
Omo manage ye negosi saying. And also yes, somewhere. Na Eric man mental me say me ba also no. Na me ma so ye best 1 hour 45 minutes bi. Enti ba me no so na ye mfa inflation no April na 23.6%. Na ye nto fa ngubu mu. Me pesa ke ya ke tumi compressing nyina ke bitumi aboa. Na mampani so asama waka kire yen say we have to prepare to sacrifice and pay taxes. Sene be bitumi mama ya chiro man no. Na ya hwe e-levy so a part of the tax aye kan wasemi. Ni collateralization ho asem no e bai yemfa kwasiawa my deputy minister for finance John Kuma e pay mu campaign now so finance minister so say he can't guarantee say bia ye be di boy say na fa nya bisa but wo hwe say the name corner the possibility between the 11 na gibisia no e wo ho ye de be gibisia ampa ana say fa nya bisia na fa ya hwe tax aban say ye say entua man pani say ye nya prepare say ye be sacrifice na say ye de ho bobo afore de amman no ye hwe me mo so ma be ye edu bam
I'm saying answer me fiase no we bra penny okay cancer bia na me feel say who be here say
oti hu free ho
yes because you see ade aye ye de need ye na ye nyina no say be ye nyina ye Ghana fo enti no gidie say ye nyina ye penny ye so all the way me politics e chi acha me I don't have issues with obia watch na dre na emomu no ade a enimuno yenka firstly o share ebia sa teshi desalination asemia no kan about say enuntina what Ghana Water Company say almost to water bill mu up to 300%. It cannot be the case.
Okay, so no can say and no see a factor. Okay.
Is it with the many decide assembly?
Oh, okay.
Share sa plant now. It's a very small percentage of ABR if we are looking at the overall Ghana water. Ejumudia omudi. Omaba bontin so aba beka say insuo nankasa no machine na no modi ejuma ohono. Insuo nankasa efiri mu ba no kra no. Ne nipa na omo enum nsuo no anazo mudi nsuo no ye ejuma no. Na omani nje ho meboa. Enti no na ho beba say a car or because I know say electricity no dey o. Say what the electricity no efa machine mu na what the annual nsuo no na etimi eyi enchire no ayi den efiri mu na nipa na etimi dey ayi adwuma o pese o dey no. Enti no omo kan ho ase. E na afi so no omo kan bi fa ye ankasa Ghana for say be suban bi a ya da ne bi which is galamsey ho asema ye kan ya no ama insu a etwa ye ho ehia
ni nyina sei
nti chemicals a esomode eye ejuma no na ama akohia se ese omo increase o ja say answer na omitimi e de aye ejuma ma nti no omo boyi na ekokose ebema eso aye den eno so no ebema ejuma no omo ye no ne bo na aye den akosoro into your market casanse mo nyina make casanse make bibi che say of course I mean enema omototo anasa kan dia omuhia dia aye mo adwuma no akosoro eno nche say ebia ye ti ha aban beji atumu say yen to ye friend say water and could see 300%. And into na yankasa no so no penifo a omo atoto sa emrano omo ye institution be a friend PURC. PURC no omo ye Public Utility and Regulatory Commission. So omo dwuma ne say in same way saa companies ni nyinaa ka no ye be per kwan bi so ye be fa stakeholders ni ya hwehwem ya impense mu ye do saa stage e be ka so ebia de mo pe no e do so dodo ana say munko na munko ye te say nkoma ye di wa ha about efficiency ni any agitum and afei so no o kan bibi fa say ya ban enti na sa name oyina koso you see sometimes no enema ni bi wa wo say make us can bibi fa the fact say o hwe sa enimeko we nyina ni nyina na ban na ye 100% stakeholder shareholder say ni na ya ban dia enti bi can bibi fa bibi e fe no optimum efficiency level say everyone say bia UTV a ye wo hay unim say bosumi bia muhia ebia 100 Ghana cedis what you say na modi ayedwuma yetuo bia ka ya to electricity ya to nsuo machines na ayedwuma ni ade enti no say OKFM ana say NIT FM for ehia bibi fi ni refer say UTV for ho even though say mo dey value better so no they say bia ka obi na fi abontin ena aba mo chain or pesa service now mo dey value better so no what you say obetima ya ama no na emomo no because ni na ye adwumako ba ko ehye nipa ba ko aseninti no enye kete say omo de boka say na make no what you say na emomo no ankrankra ya fe bi strategic business units what you say ankrankra friend say adwumako na ehye energy sector na se no ye be pe kwan bi so a sika omuhia anase akade omuhia omde be make sure say bia VRA Ghana Gas Gridco omunyina omuhia na ye betimi asori say ankrankra adwumanya electricity omomde ye personal business enya electricity omomde wo efiefie mu enya electricity ni esuo no na yina den ye ho ayden ahen because abai ba ko ye fa say wo ka say abai de kakrapo a abai de oil de ka Ghana for na de ka so dem cannot say because ye kan wo ka na kan ko si ebe de ni betimi etua saa de no
the sense ka na ye de budget ni ye de ko say ministry way ebia agency or department way esika ye twade amamu ni aye omo fa sa utility you know so enka ho
see anything na
so omo de kan wan sika no ko do e fine
see anything na say in na yesua de see e kan budget no e projection mean say the make no wo twim enti no yenim say e bia afia yesimu aban ebetimi agege sika se ye de ko amanonu ya sika se de benye film yesi ni nyina no e projection ni achiche mu nketen ama all the various agencies ministries and departments are almost share abayase what you say enti no we budget na no nche say chinchina waka say bia 1000 cedis be ko 1000 cedis be ko if you say e see etimejiji eto no they make not say so we budget your revenue projections so e ka ho enti say ka say oh aban say o ebia they say bia last year ka say bia the whole tax revenue in here no ebia na 2 Ghana cedis na ebenya what you say ebia na yentimi enya 2 Ghana na enya 1 cedi 80 pesos enti na say sa projections say I say be call anko friend say state departments ne niema ni nyina no na say eso betete
kakra
enti enya say ya budget no e che say Jamaica not yes enti no asa when say ebia busumi bia eba no ni ade no ni review to say if a normal company before they almost to the Americans
now you say Eric into all these years no do we want to say your budget bia you say your revenue no you to meet your target ana
oh sometimes we even
all these years because you say I accumulated bill na be do so
and ebia another time and able to make this outcome I personally I even have a problem with our budgeting. But I don't know yet another conversation. But the American say, "Entinos abaye sande mawe nyina sikana ebe free sa photo no mu aban. Any chiche ekoma ankran. They sometimes ebia ebetimi aso. Ebi won so an so ntino o hwe a eniema ebi wo ha na yate so kakra ebi wo na de bibia ka ho and afei kura so no wo ma na bibia bebom they say bia in contingencies they say bia we year budget 2020 abaya so and say answer that say covid beba what you say covid beba no na say cost na any ma say abaya ebo ho ka no na any budget mu they say e pekwan bi so a e be fa so a e betimi aye amagana for dey ehun ayin ham yaka electricity was time covid emremu abai e dey hyehyɛ bi ba say Ghana for say ne enumeko bebre na o matum ebi nkɔ edwuma no enkoso ne ade nti no say yinira no abai ete electricity so kakra me yinira ehun ayin han isuo ebi koi and all that even though say the baby friend say free no eventually no say you pay quite bi so a you betimi make sure say sa institutions in no
free yentua sa water ne free no yentua
na make us say you see who say baby you free baby social intervention ebi wa ha yemfa ne say ye wa ha na me so ya no pa I just say akojina ekwan ho na maton bibi na mabedi na medi atom electricity afi covid aba ya de friend say so abeto abonte say memo bia yen MPM kwa abonte o dia say nti sani pa no obeyede na wetimi ama bibi akona no na wetimi etua ne utilities nti no at that point no na woman here say ye be pekwan bi so ye be man di sani pa no ade ne ho ha na
be say na say free ne yentua so mine
yes as a nation no kwan ya befa so di etua sade ne say yankasa ankra no so no ye begegege ye ho eto kakra na
ye sika fie aman ahodo bi ho any institutions ahodo bi ho anka betumi de tuatua say sika ni nyina
ni nyina no say oman mo ewo ye de mra na ye adwo eni nti na ukọ baby to say parliament parliament no nipa omo
enti once what come back to you for almost 10 minutes in here
oh me do 10 minutes
10 minutes aba
ma me nka
10 minutes aba enti ko we no so tawo na afie ko na me bisa say sa mampagin say yan sacrifice ne pay taxes say finance minister say on to be guarantee say be de yi levy no be collateral John Kuma si so de pay can say honorable John Kuma say yemfa nye collateral da yemfa so which is which when they kind of collateral yen when they say taxes taxes be na me body chere we 17 taxes on ayi mame mo bo na so be na fa ye we obigina so kra de ade aye we ayi Kotoka International Airport enranko a government of Ghana date 22nd May 2013 time 7:40 now also services taxes in makumako 17 import duty special import levy till you were import duty and there was special import levy and there was import levy and there was Ghana export promotion Ghana export and import bank import bank exim.
Yeah, exim.
Import VAT, IRX tax deposit, network charge, Ghana Shippers Council SNF fee, network charge, get fund, network charge, network charge, get fund, net charge, NHIL, COVID-19 health recovery levy. Network charge COVID-19 health recovery levy COVID-19 health recovery levy and I say network charge COVID-19 health recovery levy nti network charge no kwa na e free ho nti COVID levy no e 2 na ho and I say ECOWAS levy African Union import levy import NHIL net VAT charge and I get fund levy emakumako 17 ena kutuka nko a otua no endra na yesi ebsan bitua bibio yedi yi levy by eno so ye ho ansa na mampensi yensan ye prepare se be se tua tax ne bia ka ho Eric yewu
Jacob na unu say tax e wo here na say to e wo here minji ni say yadia obia ba bitua se be yadia aye ne nije nika So what they I am tell who say old tie koti Bible. Bible cry ewo what you say in terms say nipa ni bebre no edu mi bi no Zacchaeus Zacchaeus be I say or a tax collector not just nipa ni bebre say any cry engine what you say enti no enya ade a wo di hu nkomo kra nika but ne credit so e ba kope say wo be chichiro man a kwan ba kope na obetimi afa de a chichiro man productivity nyuma ekoso ewo oman ni mu no aban so betimi ayeden agege nkakran na yetimi di aye enyema yenina so ye Ghana for no yepe nti bi disa kwan to say nsu aye kan ho asemi to say electricity ninina no ohia investment abetimi de aye school hospitals enyema bebre aban a ewo ho a yesi efe na aban no aban entimi enya free entimi nessa name apart from the fact say nipa na omowo oman ni mu no ene bebo ama yetimi e de ayesa afenso no yenya ya agi atomu say sankomo mi sakura na uti na uti TV a na wo hwe TV a na omudi hu nkomo say ese ye pekwan bi a obonifre bi say self reliant say yankasa no yebetimi ye niema edi ye niema ama ye edi ye ho so na say ya covid buy na e be kire say saade no ayade a ahuhia pa if you say oh even normal thing to say bibi to say no mask ni say na mani nia no na fe na kohuhia say locally ni pekwan bi so e betimi aye de ya importing niema o China nkofo mo importing niema fi China ni ade tumu say na fe niema ye aye baye ye de and as ye di any to so no not to say maybe because omo kra no omo close omo manufacturing sector freight eniema ye dey to so near the adeba eduane bo in all of those things no na che say yankasa na say ye bibia ye be metimi ama ye di en hoso ena issues to do with ebia a car ye di say ye kwa manone ye kobo busia na no so no e de pressure beto of mine so na che say akohia say obonife homegrown yankasa na ye be pekwan bi so a ankrankra yankasa so be gigi sikanka ni ma yihia no ye betimi aye na yemfa o how kese anas e ka kese e ma beto yeso enya ade a sebe o di hu koma e nika and so that's the only way I betimi akọ o kan be for E11 you see no say the bia ye di nkomo bi fa be to say bia digital economy say ewiase ye wo mu yi se sia ye de abẹ for kwan so na ye niema bebre we meet be kan E11 ho asen we say ye make almost start mobile money ewo Chrome ha in terms of experience ni consulting ni ejuma ye efa and the impact of even on the economy time I shall say no na ade kiti bi now in the last 2-3 years 2020 2019 na mobile money kwa almost a quarter of the whole Ghanaian GDP. What do I say? Because GDP, I say achichemu naya in terms of contribution to the economy and all that, you know, a quarter of that. And ya pekwa mi so I won say, see ano say ye disa 11 yun komo e no ye ndi komo e bedu maybe no. Yanka sa na say come back to that point and have that conversation. The entire makers and say o share businesses, o share the way Ghana for the see I know your business on the virtual level online.
And no dey nyina etia so kwa be for so be scan etia ye nyina ni method that. But not ebrani because obanwo wan ya ba be si be bia ye wo no. And say enim say you live no kwa be for so be gine yes the reasons nti a ye gi live no ye nyina ye hu. Na dey bia bi sa ne say no mampani say ye ntua you should be prepared to pay said Okanunye, or see he described the paying of taxes as sacrifice necessary to confront Ghana's challenges. Let's just say, say you to your home, a to watch a yahu farmer. I see a dema or minor to quality between you at one. A to also see you and I make 17 taxes and I waha. Most of Mobano, more promises, and as a mushebo, say, mobile move from taxation to production. I then answer.
Unim say you buy na almost 17 of these taxes. You feel if you were now when you pay nuisance taxes, it doesn't really add much. But so now a friend say, oh how every say in your corner, and I say uncle no mutia sa taxes. Oshema, enema yedi aka hono, enema in some of the sectors, no. Say being here say beti me raise esika near the aye oman no munuma. Obobo sa taxes you want seven. Ebi bia wo adekwa ebi a we to say ebi a national health insurance, I know a called national health insurance for Ghana exim, and also no eco bois emma unze import no idea, and also sometimes the pressure ever to or minus so into no exim omo say almost omo bois in Muku omo madrin say omo pese omo manufacture na some ye niema wo oman mu ha na ye de ko amanone into no so no ye je kakra na ye de akoshem get fund into ububo sa niema we nyina into no munina baku nina wade a
it's for instance they say COVID-19 health recovery levy eno wo ho and your network charge COVID-19 health recovery levy sa tu no eno adwuma be na ye
and I make us say so in even say who can they define health recovery in ya gia to mo say emre COVID no e buy no na the pressure about to your health system so you find say public health system so now who been here say young say be expand health network into no ankrankre district bia no aban say yensi hospital dey ho a
nti say ska dey kokusi hospital so
yes ni na ka sanema no and afi so no pressure e dey beto o minus so and impact e dey ba o minus so ebetimi apekwan bi so a ebetimi di ali dey sanema ni na ka but the mechanic say of course
for 20 minutes unko aka 20 minutes
of course
for no mami
Ghana for enya didi wa ban ni mu say ye wo adwempa and enim dey ye pese ye development no so
me dance pa me da omo mam information bi say abia enche na wa ye yinti na me ma chance be aha say you doc man pedi na waka say na me say maybe sa no kransa no wasore ko say e-levy no ye de be collateral say fa collateral me man na ya no ansa no wako man pedi say we should prepare to sacrifice to pay more taxes to develop the country na e-levy so nsam akokoba ene eto egu okra da ye kun say ye nyi bi fa firi wo okọ mede no o kan bi e de fa sa taxes on petroleum products ye say anka won hwe no nyi bi fa firi so no o say oyi firi so anya de betumi ayeye ena ye na mu abedu ba bia ye dure would you say are we overburdening Ghanaians? Is the government overburdening Ghanaians when it comes to taxes and I can say because betumi bibia anka betumi aboa manka tax bibiri be you know anka ye man emma nso no ye betumi nya de say ye say to be.
Okay. You see, when we're talking about inflation, tariff increment, and all of these things, we cannot talk about them without talking about the economy itself. So, as I say, Messiah who say, how did we get here? When this government started in 2016, what have they done? Agya who say, they will go borrow money and come and spend. Go borrow money and come and spend. Forgetting that you borrow money today, but you have to pay it tomorrow. And we have done this over and over. Surprisingly, we borrow it and come and spend it on ourselves. We borrow it to pay salaries. We borrow it to buy fuel for the political class. We borrow it to, you know, unnecessary things, really. I'm sorry to say that. Between 2016 and now, by the beginning of 2017, our debt position, everybody knows, was around 120 billion. Today, it is over 360 billion. And it's about 80-something% of GDP. we were around 50-something to 60% GDP. So say, no, we don't have the physical space. It is just not available. We have borrowed to the extent that now we will have to borrow to even buy water for ourselves. That is the truth of the matter.
How?
If you take government revenue projections for this year, how much is it? It's around 100 billion. If you look at debt servicing, interest payment, salaries, the money is finished. So even if government say obekwa koye borehole at, let's say, as a Krengwa, if that's the name, or Suhum Krabwa Kota, even borehole of 5,000 cities, we have to borrow them that money. That aside, we move in, COVID came. Truth being told, COVID, no, nobody expected it. But God being so good, and you know, God loves Ghana. The impact on Ghana, and for that matter, Sub-Saharan Africa, and this is senior SCO, foreign land, Amanono, is that?
Amanoni.
Okay. But the inflows that came as a result of COVID, even if COVID were not to have come, we wouldn't have been having such inflows.
Sika yenya.
Sika yenya. Unfortunately, we were thinking that it is free money that is given to us whilst we were sick on a hospital bed. And so we started to spend it anyhow. We can decide to say that we use this amount of it to buy sanitizers. We can decide to say that we use this amount of it to prepare kenke. So we have misused those monies. And they were not free either. We'll have to pay for them. By the time COVID is over, and you see, one thing is that money has its fundamental principle. So it will come back to you. So for instance, say, say 5,000, but some way, somehow, you find your way to be living around 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. Over a period of time, and at that time, you will see yourself falling into bankruptcy. If that happens, in the case of the economy, of course, inflation becomes through. Inflation, it is not even the sickness of the economy. It is the symptom of the state of the economy. If you are sick of malaria and you are vomiting, the vomiting is not the sickness. The vomiting is the symptoms of the sickness that you are experiencing. And certainly, if you look at all the indicators, the risk assessment indicators, we are ranging between risky, highly risky, and extremely risky. We have no breathing space at all.
Is it all that bad?
I want to tell you that we have not done well on the management of the economy. And so we can talk, you bet me explaining, say, oh, we have done this, oh, we have done that. But to say that we have managed this economy, I think we have lacked on that. And it's painful because you see, we are accumulating burden for tomorrow. I am saying that we have gotten to a cycle now that if we don't take care, the city will collapse. Unfortunately, you don't want to be saying that, but that is the truth. Look, Sri Lanka was around 24% inflation. And we see what is happening. Ghana is around 23.6. Definitely, all prices will go up. A bucket, that white bucket of tomato, used to be around 25, 30. Now, a cover say 100. And by next week, it could go to 120. So we call all the product lines, it's happening like that. And so it's not so much about, because of this, because of that. I have sat in my own corner and said, say, COVID actually even aided the process. In fact, it helped us delay our death a little bit. It's like you are dying, you have internal issues, and then they put your life support. Maybe it's just keeping you for a little bit longer. And so the situation is that tax burden. When we say tax burden, what do we mean? If I buy things worth 5,000, and out of that 5,000, I'm going to pay about maybe 1,000 cedis of it in taxes alone, then the tax burden is about how much? 20%. If you collect that money and you don't use it for productive purposes, you are burdening the person who is paying the tax. Forget about how you explain it. But that is what we continue to do, because you take the money and then somehow you use it the way you want. We are running an economy, say, the cost of running government is almost half of the total revenue that we receive as a country. That's dangerous.
No, but that's not the case. You
That
just
is
made
dangerous.
but you just made
No, I'm just telling you.
We have to be very, because you in your own
uh-huh.
analysis, you stated that so we have to be very factual with this thing. You stated that when you take tax revenue, a certain percentage of that goes into the payment of emoluments and
so that is the reason why. That is the reason why we don't even have space. That's why I said.
Then you have your statutory.
Then
you have your statutory
even
payment.
if you want to dig borehole,
but that is
you have to go and borrow.
That is why.
When you are fueling, no, you see, let us. I want us to.
Eric,
I want us to really pick the foundation of the problems, so that we would then be able to know the impacts on us. Because I am affected, you are affected. Then we look at solutions. Indeed, the solution is not in the hands of you and I largely. Solution is in the hands of the policymaker, the politician, the president, the economic management team. So we have gone that way, and we are here now. ECG says that they want increment. Or see, Ghana Water, the same thing. All other service providers, they are asking for more. Transportation is going up. What will happen? You will see even small manufacturing firms collapsing. You drive around town and watch factories, small factories, businesses, most of the time they are closed.
That's how I say yenye bibi from what that is yenhwe say Ghana beyond 8. It the only means which way say yen so betumi to na within no.
Unfortunately, we have not acted in the manner to indicate, okay, we are prepared to go beyond aid. Because if we really focus on going beyond aid, then the focus should be on production, manufacturing, business service improvement, service levels improvement. I mean, all around. But we are in an economy where it's all about consumption, and the elite are consuming the majority part of the cake. We have nothing left. We have absolutely nothing left. You have a situation where, at the end of the day, you work. You can't save anything. Our savings habit is just not there. Not because we don't want to save, but I say, some has not left for you to save. And so every time we are looking for somebody to give us money to live on, companies have collapsed. When we came, the financial services sector, we wanted to clean it up. How much was the total debt of those financial institutions put together? 9 billion. And we use how much? We said we use 25 billion in paying for 9 billion. And let's not forget one thing. Money creation is not done by Bank of Ghana. Money creation is done by the financial institutions in the system. Because of financial transactions, they give out money at a cost. In that process, they create money. Bank of Ghana sits back and said, oh, this is the total liquidity in the system. And so they then cut fiat money, that is paper money, to support operations of financial transactions in the system. And so if you wake up and you go to kill these institutions for whatever reason, just like that, and today you are having these difficulties, then you have to go back to when you decided to take that decision. I wish I could have spoken tree to explain it to all of us. Look, when these institutions were made to go out of the system,
banks out on yes,
you will see that small businesses have gone out of business because they got financing or support, small from these institutions. Yes, and they were all gone. But you see, it does not end there. The institutions that went out, they have assets and they have liabilities. In most cases, their assets are more than their liabilities. But even in this case of liabilities, you have a component that is non-performing. That is, it may be probably difficult for them to recover it. So if out of the 9 billion, the total 9 billion, about even 50% of it is non-performing, we could have bought that one into a bad bank trust. And they said that, okay, this institution is based on your non-performing, we will give you this. Then we take the loans off your books and we keep it somewhere, because don't forget, any money that is given to you in this economy, in this our close economy, the owner of the economy is in charge of that money. So whether it is with you or it is with me, the man who is in charge holds that. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And so, if I give you 10,000 and you are supposed to pay me, you've paid maybe 6, it's left with 4. And then he is in charge and says that, oh, he is coming to bail you out, or you know what I mean, my creditors out, and then leaves your 4,000 outstanding for you to take it free. What then happens? So we are saying that in this case, he should say that the 4,000 that you are owing me, he will pay me, so that I will continue to operate, I will continue to pay my staff, businesses, small businesses will continue to flourish, and by now would have been telling a different story. Unfortunately, we have approached it from a draconian perspective.
And it
has been a major, if you like, mistake that we've done, I think.
But finance minister ni aban so kire say sankomo nya ne sanka depositors sika anka beshi.
Okay, so let's
it is a one to an be someone nya ne say beshi per years interest.
You see, when banks take money, deposit from the public, they give it out in loans. Banks begin to suffer when loans don't perform. When the people who took the loans are not paying back.
That is if they are doing that. But we also had issues with this whole cutting out the private sector.
If you want to resolve that issue, NDSS you will go and have a look at the bank's books, and that's not difficult at all. Bank of Ghana has that information. By just a click of a button, you can pull all of that out, and you will know that Bank A, Bank B, Bank C, all of them put together, they are non-performing. It's about even 10 billion. So this 25 billion that we used to say pay depositors, 10 billion or less could have gone to refinance non-performing loans, and then the remaining can even be given to these institutions proportionately in soft loans to operate. We would have reorganized this financial services sector in a manner that today we'll be proud of ourselves. That came to pass. So we pile up. It has piled up and now it is choking us. The truth of the matter is that if we don't do something drastic,
something drastic one. Doc, and some come here, you know. Inflation also tell na fear. Derek Victor Kwawose, we Ghanaians are complaining about the introduction of new taxes because the revenue generated from the collection of the existing taxes is not used to maximum satisfaction of the taxpayer. The taxpayers. Should government utilize the revenue generated from the newly introduced taxes and the already existing one properly, Ghanaians will be willing to pay and pay more once we see and feel the positive impact of the economy. Nana Yao Antwi or say, can this MPP guy, government is, the government is spending on the MPP apparatchiks. And enrichment is 90% of the total spending. Just borrow money for consumption. Sana Osman Kwabena, please always bring these people like the mind the ash African wear to the program so that you can help us. He tell us the real state of the country and the economy. I go on Juliana Meda say, Ernest Amwe Si Techi. Or say the lecturer is speaking sense. The collapse of the private entities is too much. Now the government is collapsing private schools. Now they say students from the private schools shouldn't enjoy free senior high. Oh, sir, they are not. Are they not Ghanaians? I know. Bibisa or Minyasho. Says some Korania they are with me about school. Yombako. Minyasho say Bibisa. Private SHS and Ampa. That's right. Set. I remember us with your number. You should not say Nebraska. My penny say, let's hold the bull by the horn. Say no. To watch a sacrifice. You're prepared to sacrifice and pay taxes. Then you find a chiro man.
I wish I can take a bit of that.
No, sacrifice and also all can be found.
Yes.
Tell nothing set in rep.
Okay. We Ghanaians,
young Ghana for
we have always been ready to pay taxes. And we've been paying. As a matter of fact, you see a tax was. And indeed, it is tax that we use to develop the economy. So if Mr. President says that we should be prepared to pay tax, I say, sir, I'm ready. Because tax is like a cobweb. You can't actually get yourself out of it. You are within it. Until you can't say you won't pay. You will pay. Now, so, we can also ask government to do 1, 2, 3, 4 things. If we agree, the citizens of Ghana will sign a contract with government that do this for us and will also do this for you. And let's see if Ghana will move on or not.
So, a contract, I
thought you would ask what are some of the things?
I didn't say and 9 now. So say and can say a year contractual agreement between Ghanaians and government. You know, Sanyama 9.
Actually, I have more than 9. Sorry, more than 4.
4.
But the first request that I want to make to government, say, how many ministries have we got now?
Ministers. You know?
No, ministries.
Ministries.
Yes. We have about 35. Thereabout.
35.
Sir. Government should give us assurance that they will reorganize the ministries to 23. 23 ministries. Then number 2. So government should tell us that yes, they are ready to do this and will also do the other part. In any case, they can decide to listen, they can decide not to listen, they can continue to impose taxes. But the only thing is that when you impose taxes or tax on an individual, it will get to a level that he is no longer productive. So he can even not pay the tax. That is what we call deadweight loss. He can no longer perform for you to earn your money. So the money will not come.
Ministries are can once a wait a minute. Say so. Ministry be an in a juma
very well.
And to say ministry be a juma and so only so we so no share. We so share paper so, we so share phone so, we so share a bia akunye, we so share a bibi so. The bed day obian in a juma, a bed day to me a cambo mama want to make a juma effectively.
Says Sadia, you can say that maybe a country can have over 1,000 ministries because there are so many things for government to do.
Okay.
It is because of that, everything there should be a ministry for it. But there are standards. Some things. For instance, if you take this is a private paper of mine actually. If you take, let's say, the United Kingdom, they have a population of around 67 million. They have around 22 ministries. In fact, they have 22 ministries. If you take South Africa, population of around 60 million, they have 28 ministries. Kenya, 53 million, they have 21 ministries. Rwanda, around 13 million, they have 17 ministries. Ghana, what's our population, sir?
30 now.
How many ministries do we have?
35.
How many deputy ministers do we have? So the inefficiency starts way from the top. We have to be realistic in these things. It will not help you and I to just be having so many ministers and deputy ministers that their works overlap. And beside these ministries, we have regional ministers. And now how many are they? 16. There are regions that their total revenue cannot even take care of the minister and his deputies.
They are poor region.
There are no more deputy regional ministers.
No. I mean, okay. So I'm saying that let's reduce our ministries to 23, and I have good reasons for that. And then, how much sika ahi na yedima government say on here a mind so. That is allocations to Office of Government Machinery. Me asema me can say. If government projects that they will earn 100 billion in revenues for a particular year, the allocation to government machinery should not exceed 35%. And gradually, we will smoothen it, we will reduce it to around 20%. Now we are talking of real efficiency in the system. So, the presidency, the office of the president, office of vice president, office of ministers, they will all be feeling the pinch. We all use air conditions, but you can go and park your V8 somewhere for 5 hours and the engine of the car is on. Who is paying for that? This one, it is not NDC or MPP. this is something that we have to do for our own good. Because if Ghana is good, it's good for all of us. If Ghana goes bust, it's too bad for us. In fact, a senior economist of mine said that Ghana has a high tolerance level because the misery index, adi I bet me I say ubu ebe fu se ubeye bibi bad, is so high in Ghana than it is in Sri Lanka as we speak. But what is happening there? But Ghana, we are trying to find solutions to it.
Who can ministers as no man penny can say be said. Opentem ne pon ko pentem into opasoafo
Okay.
until they say na wasoafo do so there be adwuma na me babaye no adwuma no so
Okay.
me nya bre it be pentem apenipa bebra kama ma yatumi aye adwuma no ena opasoafo ne bebre until per your estimation asoafo na mampeni yi wo mo any input adwuma wo mo aye no justifiable na na fi ya hwe so say ose ye hold them responsible accountable to the e-levy ye di tuma ye hold them nti wo de hwe minister do of fire any adwuma o maye no ene ne nyepe.
I think, say, all of us can answer that question. No doubt. Where we have found ourselves today, when inflation is almost 24%, and it is not ending, no. May is coming, June is coming, and in that order, we have paid lip service to major government policy agendas, like planting for food and jobs, like one district, one factory. We have a situation where we say, oh, we are planting, so there will be bumper harvest. You go to the field and total production in terms of agro production has actually reduced. Cocoa, which we use as our reserve. So when we sell cocoa, the money goes into our account. And then we use it as what we call foreign reserve, including the others like gold and others. Cocoa production has now gone beyond 1,000 metric tons. Is that it?
1 million.
1 million.
Very well. We have never been able to meet even the 2016 levels. It continues to go down.
No, it's not true. We've actually, so the last time was 960,000 metric tons. And this year we're projecting actually close to 1 million metric tons.
Projecting.
Yes.
What was
the projection for this year is lower.
Yes.
But
But the point is that
last year was close to 1 billion.
a million
Yes.
metric tons. So
Yeah,
it hasn't,
and I feel
cocoa
the-
production,
I feel that
no, but
yeah.
because it's a
Okay.
cycle. So
I-
cocoa
I-
production hasn't
okay.
reduced.
Very well.
Okay, to doc, one
So-
It was 960,000.
Yes. Almost 1 million tons.
You made me, if you like, miss my thought. No.
And then
So-
I'm playing 4 against 1.
Yes, but the point that I'm making,
You're not being fair.
no,
You're not being
I
fair.
want us
no
to-
kana so one day no da keka no keka enti obi a kire na adwene me da se enti set mami ko say so doc me da se na mo no be the message bi aba wa me nkenka oba pa Francis CM or say government owes we net kufo na kasa yi 1.06 billion Ghana cedis net kufo na kasa na sika aban ede wo mu e ka aban de wo mu no e 1.06 billion Ghana cedis. Now, or say, okay, sir, upon this, or say this alongside electricity power theft are all the critical issues and not managerial competency or otherwise. Or see, the foreign businesses are heavily indebted still and dodge payments as well. We need the specific and special tax, utility and sanitation fast-track courts with highly skilled legal professionals and relevant experts to handle issues expeditiously. Our basic problem is an over-centralized government and governance system, weak and querulous local government system, coupled with square pegs in round holes na che say niema sheda ensisi so say dey say ensisi so no ene ye namu sa na ye kɔ de sa nti set baby a ye duro yi ene de ye kɔ yi ɛtɔ de ye betua ye betumi atua mpo de award da no ena foforo beba ene accountability ene ye ka ho no ye monitor taw na fi ye hwɛ say ye betumi de betumi de inflation no kran so awura mu prekope na fi yakɔ we da say
yes sir that's pa eto asem a ye kan asem a hia yeye
okay
o man mu na abri bia ye kan to de me de ma adwene esi so ete se wo mango dua si ho na mango ne so a o pese o ti mango ni bidi enti obi be se obefu mango no no akote obi di dua te obi potumi wo so na te obi tudua akɔbɔ no obi gyaa me bi tutugu efom wɔn enti ne ɛwɔ so no ɛna ɛyɛ tax na yɛ sika ne yɛ pesa ban nya no the tax no ɛyɛ mode and as a means aban ɛfa so wanya na wo kwati mango no na mango no hwi ni so a ɛdɛn na wo kwati
no to be ntehwe
tax ɛyɛ mini atwum my namesake okay said enye na tax ba mu a free bible bre mu ba bi a obeko bia no taxes e wo ho ya the tax e na ye o man yi ebra aban ya ban ka say oba no ohwe from o move from taxation to productivity me ye nipa bi a me hwe sa den say that was the way to go indeed aban e try say productivity aye high I say mango no aso aba bebre wugya ne kura obekwa anopa no na ebi ate agu fom ubenya bi na say mango no ngugu ase ema ne nso ye enye efe endu mpempenso obi na say we say ubeti a won hwe ya abere na ban bi kura na ne branches bi abu ato fom ubere na mango na fe aye basa sa na ye ahwe ye nneoma yi a ye betumi akwa akoduru se oman eto hia nanso yahwe ne a ekoso ewo man ni mu no yewo effect of high tax burden se eto edum pempensuo bi a ete se mayafe okay die besiensi because aven ba bia duru no me yam ho hwe nyeye one will say free 2019 2020 2021 ne o covid mu ye be wura 2021 na ye ka so ye fa covid recovery levy emra abahia bibi kakra e de boa ebra ye bre ye no me ya nkra mi wa adwuma ye nyina ye nkan hunu se tema na aban bre no na me nso me bre but ye be wura mu no ayese esunu asesa ape aban ho ko na wo bre ayese me de me ho atome na so story no entisa ye mienu na ye bre yenko biem ya bedum pempenso esi o ye introduce e-levy men ka se e-levy nye aban hia sika nanso ya hwe ne ya ye tudua ati mango no obi foro akwati mango no obi woso no ati mango no obi ye ni se beduru ba bi no mango dua no anhwe na akobu ye hwe ne ye afei ya hwe mpempenso a o man yaduri the truth be told yemfa all political lenses engu baabi na ye hold the bull by the horn yenim say ye won NDC MPP CPP and all the other groups say anhwe ne ye na ni aye huni ene ni a ekukọ so ye toa so bosumi mienu miensa enan ekodura ya hwe ne ya ebia de yempese ebehunu no ana ne yempese oman ye ni beka no ena ebia
wo kan be se dia wo kan na si ye se ya hwe ya se dia kuroi de ebehu ni ya se dia potin na ekro a wan hwe a bebi ebekọ na emko ye den sintoben for instance ye levy loopholes bi wo mu awgiri sanke betumi ahwe siesie dia pa na ya wo gye se yenye ni ya hwe betum de adum pepe so apese edu
me da say the ma me kan ni say wo hwe for the past 11 months month on month bia no inflation ya kosoro na me hwe a small data bi e wo ha wo hwe Africa countries Ghana ankasa wo ye kan afri eto a bottom omo inflation e wo soro pa no ye to 5 we yi man bi to say Sudan, Zimbabwe onam 96, Ufa Ethiopia onam 36, Ufa Angola onam 25, Ghana ye the fifth 23.6. Ebra ye kan 23.6 no food inflation no and we nam 26.
So we are there.
Enti ye kan nyina bom na ye se nam 23, by nam 23 no food aduane. Ewo emra ye wo planting for food and job. Na mitie anuanom bebre omo kan say with Ukraine and Russia law and aduane amesimini ayenhwe ni
ne say no so kan
ye hwe say fertilizer say ma ye kan aduane na ye di no nya aduane e di ane afiwe me ye kuani aduane bi a ye woni say ye aduane ye aduane a esi last year na Ukraine and Russia ndokwa na eni ho One say ye pay bibi de yi ano a ye benya bibi de yi ano. But ye betuma yi ano akoduru baabi a enam say ye wa nu ye nti no. E ma ye face the issues as they are. Because me will reason am de beji me ho ano. COVID by nti ye the COVID yi ye ho ano a na ye free COVID na we ntu aba bebom nti as ye were reasons. But me gidi say aban ane oman ye ka say ye betu anamon a we can do far better.
nti den absolute say sese ye
Yo. Nia edikan ye nhwe Ghana man ye nye man a esese aduane ho ye din. Ye betumi anya nneoma ho be ye din wo man yi mu but enye aduane. If you say ye nya atiga obi a wo small garden bi wo nimfitire kura wodua bibi eba. Ebra ban o introduce planting for food and job. Ade ba ko ameka ye ne se eto da bi a ye nneoma wholesale ye tu ni nyina bom. Ye fa ye nnuanum a mo wo northern part. Omo hia fertilizer pa. Ye fa nnuanum a mo wo southern part. Omo hia fertilizer. Omo hia weedicide. Na ye say planting for fertilizer naba. Ye wo fertilizer. Ye wo seed a ebedua. Na say ya no ayenua o. The cost of clearing the land nenkwa is so high say nipa nko betimi ado 10 20 30 no oye 2 in the southern part. Enti aduano say de say yenya no yenya ne sa. Kakra yenya ayenso a unfortunately for us ye makwan in one way or the other. And now we pay a bropa to Ghana. As I say, we to free obi ofri Burkina Faso ho. As omoba Ghana, onama okresika. No abeto Ghana bro no Ghana, not the across the border. Now after a few months, no we say this bro na afri Burkina Faso, Ghana bro no. Or the abano will determine the price. Sa nyoman kitten we ya ye komu. Ya wi ya adwene be say we tie nya more taxes eba mu ebeboa. Yes, ba ye nya ba no. Yen kan hunu say the real cost of your challenge no. And am I a food inflation of 26.6. Say never no obi de okakura wontumi ntua.
Correct.
Enya say bia nipa no ye sensan ni o. Ode woka. Eka na ode no wo beko no. Ose o echina obeduru wo no bre echina chi obeduru wo because no so obi de nika when so obi de nika then there's a ripple effect. Enti juma asese yetu anamwa asese yetu right from our household ana mo say ye ntoto ye nneoma ye na ya adwini nyina so waban ye sika aban do hia otumi beje na me hia sika me kwaje wo hwan ho menum ye no ahimfa ne bekwa akwaji esika no de ni sika bi wo ba bi e bekwa akwaje disi ya adwuma enwoma me ensa bi na me susu say aban onfa na ni hwe ho if we say sika ho the first one ya agric sanka betumi ayeye mpo a anka agric sector yenyim firi aban mu na enkoye bibia eye politicians and they take charge of agric sector. If it's a politician, beka the opposite wote. Obeka obeka grounds no what is happening no B. But one mechanism so aban enye popular. Policy be very wonderful. The government has so many wonderful policies. But if do the implementation no na ekamia say nyoma ni enim ni nyoma kyerɛkyerɛmu a yɛka yɛ nyinaa na yɛyɛ ni sei ana because ebra yɛ dey planting for food job eba na enye kekese yɛkodua yɛdua there were section na ɛyɛ the aggregators enti wodua wia yɛnyɛ edikan I was first batch of planting for food and job omoma yɛ wiere ni etua half of the amount na wotua half ni wia yɛse who produce there will be aggregators better nyoma no ota na me say aban wa ma obibi na wa co produce uto wi a obetua aban ka on the car no because want to any nyina o ma wo some free apart from the 50% no the remaining 50% no would to 25%. That my share say no now 25% who produce wi a okay after ya the amount. Unfortunately, and no producer obi ni wa oba auto. Now these people are about to tell the court. Now the how am I? And the yanke agri sector. The second one, a tax system. I'm not going
that. Where do you mean? Chawano now. Okay. Yenua Eric. Yani nenchi kakra. Owo juma fufuro say san kokoye. Ewo baby. Enti jumedi ebeko na we na say Eric nkaye hu biwa. Mo man enya mo nwanwa se wokokoye adwuma foforo bi e wo baabi e de boa ye nyina ne o man ne nyina ne ono akasa enti Eric nanka me ma kwa mo yi nsem bia no so mre nso aye be
se adwuma na ne ye na me namesake no ka bi fa government policy we say planting for food and jobs say 1D1 FNSA ne money nyina e niema aban atena se adwen hu se enema ye komu nyina no ebeboa me dey be politics no very simple se ye do pempen so e pese ye bia oboni fe bi review se bia se ye di bi ka ho ye di bi shemu na yi bi free ma ni nyina no ade a am se aban ebeso ne momu no enim se ye koye nim no na sa nema we nyina no ade a ebeboa e bi ndi se uni obi a ono so yekwani ekasa obetimi aka cho say enema aban dia to akwan mu no in that particular sector no ena dia abeboa na fertilizer say me okay ena me no ka say the price say fertilizer go be ni ho omo main component omo dey omo say a friend phosphate right I know na the main component omo dey fertilizer no e bi ko ni ho a to say o to say bia obetimi dey aya na say obetimi ato na je say aban so atwe na adwan ko si na o ka no say e say ye bibi e friend organic fertilizers ne je say hana ya ni ma da forma in ra ni ade a ye wo fie mu ni ade no ye de be fertilizer ye betimi dey aye ye nyuma ni nyina ye homegrown and I say yankasa ye homegrown ni ma say ye timi ya ebetimi amaboa aho che de utra ba bi na kaso obi ka se ne ho akire na say ebia enemo ma ye dia it say ne aban enije say obi ho be kire na emomu no nkomo ye di so wo de muzemo ye central for wo de weni eto form na wo hwe ne ekoso wo amama nyina bebi wo ha na it say ka omkura say ka so mu wo sika esen ye na emomu so no na omo manfo no dey eko ahohiahiem nti no ye meka chat ne say abanda so agidi say nema ye dey to akwan mu no ye betimi aye ama economy no ye dey Essentially.
Yo, Eric, medase, began no crying amanako since in Numa Dross, my bripo Besamba, your Kwabena cry beyond the sun. It is said, but my one sinner fee, Uniam Remna.
But you can't first one, and I heard to say, yeah, brick sector. The second one, Minya Eboso, a Banya dream pop about one district, one factory. Say, at the campaign time, which is a near one district, one factory. And at the implementation stage, send you one district, one factory, if I say BB, I touch my baby. Make I say maybe one of the politicians, Impo can say, yeah, one district, one factory, when you crew around Boga, or mobile factory, be process, say dog meat. And not there, my best, you know, near who you know, and a factory, no amount. At this point in time, I see a group baby answer to Ghana, you import fertilizer. For what? If we say BB here, at the end of just organic fertilizer near you. You will be Yankopon Ashira woman. Where should I?
I think we wouldn't say a leadership failure, and I may do baby a dream, and I say, you said that a need focus on my development plan. We said this how we've planned our country to be like in the name we all. You do about to Obrania to know within the policy about no wage a hokosa, and no be na man do baby a dream.
Members American say leadership failure, but rather priorities. One will say, I buy on our drive here, but your person or the con, a told them be our de coha. Ebi an argument and say, Hanobebu and Enso MY. May I say, planting for food fertilizer near Kraba, says Sikabutu, and I can't say DC fertilizer plant. Our mind Ghana. Ama na process organic. You Ghana if you are. I bet media process organic fertilizer. What you mind to say no way. No way or import it. Emura na ye hwe gu na ye mfa anya hwe no ono we imported the koye fertilizer plant.
No wasa beton amaye.
No abeton amaye. Wa hu. Na ye wo bibi we mu aye tete ho. Why don't we assess it? The last one. Me person me twe ya adwinisi so aye tax system. Menua we your tax system yes a proper review. Not just the bills like the tax exemption bill other you can buy around 2019 now buy ni abring den eduru ba bia na santi agu makanda say pressure you dey pass e-levy. See the 5% e pass e ko exemption bills wa Ghana enioma ebesisa tax exemption kwa no abane atwiri sika over 4 billion. E-levy 4 billion na yeho used to be 6 ya this one about 4. Utie de sha ase a ekoso yi ya nhwe de year 4 no ye ben ho enti ye review their industries bi a omo enjoy exemptions bi a enane nei ehu hia ebia na those industries na anye too happy with me, but let me mention the industry to say omo in the rural banking sector and no mutu 1%. Rural bank onye too different from microfinance. Onye too different from savings and loans. In those days, now in the rural sector, no, there is no more means of accessing funds. Enti yama omo person omo kwa kurase no enkonya sa enjoyment no. Who from rural bank or one can have? How different is that rural bank or one can have from a commercial bank or what? Some of the rural banks are having a huge asset base yet or enjoy. Here review. Our exemptions should be for a certain purpose and for a certain period. When you pass your yen in there, and until you kwan no be mrem. First, you go, you need skilled labor. In the gold sector, in the petroleum sector, and then you dom Ghana buy a boy the focus here. They are more about handle certain basic things. Why do we still allow them to go free? Ni amano exemption baby or enjoy ya not in the sika kwa brochire. Na Ghana wajaye mu. Yen hwe sa anoma no. Review exemption. Yen hwe agri sector very well. Yen hwe the industrialization no. One district, one factory. Yen nia ebehia yen. Enoma bi wa ye under one district, one factory. Eye de. But enam say nya aban na oji anim. ne private sector no di anim e ma ban better na chinti no private sector no so ho na ohwe it might not be the preference of a private sector but because the government has a social contract any ye nti no on pushing ni anim e wo honom na private sector betumi abeboa ama sa ade na ye
that's it. Joe Stelly, or say good morning, Agya, and your crew members. I think this institution should not be managed by government, but should be independent. 1, agri sector. 2, educational sector. 3, health sector. It should be based on who is capable to handle those institutions by going through job interview or vetting processes. Okay. Peggy Mensah, greetings from Dubai to you, Agya, and your panel. The new way to develop Ghana and Africa, our common enemy is the political parties that we have established in our countries, which we have practiced for some years. This time we should arise to eradicate this common enemy from our country. Then we can achieve our goals to develop our country. Also, political parties means corruption and bloodshed for power. Neutrality in our government bodies. Neutrality in our government bodies. Neutral president, neutral parliament, all parliamentarians. The implementation of new democracy. There will be election, but no political campaign. The neutral presidential election. The neutral parliamentary election. After neutral election of our presidents and parliamentarians, then the president will have the power or mandate to appoint the vice president and ministers and the government institutions. Then the president will, and just on the or be independent, but no political party. Is that possible? Maybe. Vincent Roger says, okay. Let me say, okay. Doso ban sanet te content entem sa Jack mame hwe ye brem kwa ye bi anisa ye kan nyina no na ye kan bibie de fam bampani asemo kan se sacrifice na ebra so won me medwene se eduru ba bia ti bia bia obedu mu bia ene na mo sise wutu ha ye mfa ne se wodan mu na ensuo to na edan edwunu sa bre no na wa na nwene se dan benwunu ba enyunu gu mpa so wo so pese woda. Enti so to be take critical decisions bi either so we page ampane dey free ho either kokko na bi ana so do konko bi be so na nso na gum so to be take decision baby e dro no e se tu ato ye dey etu wacha forbo ye dey chiro man no man peni say you live in, you should hold them accountable. Any that it is can we, must we, shouldn't we?
Kwabena me da se. Ni di kan, me di kan aka ne se. Oman a Yakopon adomo egudie. A resource rich country. Eni se ojeje amount for tax akese na odi bu oman no. Nemum oman a Yakopon andomino egudie. Ti se Japan, Britain, oko England a omuntu gold wo ho. Ye ni omuni oil wo ho. Cocoa ye wo omuni bi wo ho. What am I can say? Ye omuni ye manganese ye diamond ne ye bauxite a yes ya no tichirichi o port ye de koi. Ye de kwa ma no ne ko gisike yi. Omuni bi wo ho. Aluminium na na munti ye ko si vacuum a ye de kwakusombo so ba ya nka Ghana e ba be produce aluminium e wo hai. Omo no muni bi wo ho. Enti omo sa kro no a omo no Yakopon fa agudie endom omo no no mu hia se agege tax e wo amanfo nsem ne de bo oman no bra nemom oman bi ti se Dubai, Saudi Arabia mo ne ade no enye tax ne de bo oman no bra Yakopon adom omo agudie se fam go so omo fa oil na Yakopon de adom asase no e no omo de esiesie Dubai ama Dubai abaye krabehwe. It was after the Second World War. And America epic interest in the Middle East more. And you introduce to say, okoto oil mo fa dollar and enfentuaka. And no ne Saudi Arabia ne the Emirates kro na ekembo Emirates no omo ye United Emirates no ena omo de ama American businessmen e de sika ko shemu say di tu from goodie no oil no ena ende omo chichire Saudi Arabia ne Dubai ama Ghana ha obi nya sika kra so mi ko Dubai what na make na say some man no e tax no munye o e tax e chichire o man no nemum from goodie na yakopon de adom omo no ena leadership papenti tum say onka say leadership but leadership problem so unya endra na Emirates omo mampeni a obedi ni a odiom call industrialization no wuya no ne ba no obedi ade endra no so wuya nti ende ya omo jana omo sie no just
ye sie no kra tum say bibi simple kra e peja no so simple no mre no
easy na leadership no papa it take you drive the country through resources are ye peke into we your mind na say we need that so this man penin na all can say munya ready na muntu tax foforo munya ready na mo sacrifice munya ready na muntu tax na so man penin no mo resources to na or the near taxes one na so man penin na so babo amo a serious issue Omanya who gold, who oil, who timber, who export to manganese, who export to diamond, who export to bauxite ni ade na still yedi eni si say obotom sika wakoye adwuma bre nya no e na ban na epese agi aso de amani order bon omano bra na more problem enye sad Japan in a small island in so nature no sia and sisi Japan is a member of the G7 amaya omo sika omo odu omo yanson China ka ho but omo China is in China na Russia ka ho no omo Russia so in China Japan ka ho what am I can say and so omo ni gold omo ni from goodie bi omo tu a enu nti efa industry semra ho eye leadership adwenkasia Malaysia Indonesia mo ni ade nyae with under certain leadership lunkwan omo amo na mo drive those countries towards development. And to say when ya leader obe drive oman no se oban na mu agudie nie. Mo pesa mo betu oman agudie ya sign contract. Contract ni say contract ni ye the say ye be bo oman no na oman na di de. Unim say oye contract ye sign Ghana hey. Ye sign say o sika o de be shemu bia no. Ye start to oye no a o sika no be start apply o sika no back. Na ba o sesa oye no a Ghana so percentage 10% no na yeso yasesa na yeso akoton ye de abroche Dubai na yesa na omoye no omo get contract say wo no ufi America wa ban abase ye no ye adwuma yate ye no be na emum wudu sika be shem enti no wudu sika na ode ba no good as oye no mutu ememe dia me no meton na metua wo kakakra what is argument? So the nature of contract no almost sign wo Dubai ni Saudi Arabia ni ade Iran different from here contract
yeah dey na ye sign ye hunu we no mo dey na gina so dey sign ye dey na say
I can after this program met me alenko even one serious advocate in this enterprise. Like I said, the nature na ye sign contract na poor. Do you know that all your companies ni gold companies ni manganese companies ni ade organ na omuntu tax omo de nyoma fidie ni ade ba krom ha no ma omo de kwa aban no say because you want to drive investment ya person investors ba krom into omuntu tax. Do you know that? And so she nyoma omo di fi omo no ne ba omo krom fo omo de omo betra go ko angogo da sante omo krom fo na ade a omo betra krom ha no ma omuntu tax. These are the issues. So omampeni no omampeni pa no di only di demonstration etia tax e wo krom ha nipa fast wu ye e wo krom ha complaining about taxes in 2016 baby I can say let's abolish taxes on diesel and petroleum products. That will be a sign of a sensitive government. This is 18th May 2015 Mampeni Akufo-Addo. Now obe di abenjani after 2015 obe di abenjani we are we move from taxation to production. You
know, we have one district, one factory.
Kwabena ukrom na ifa. What this event saying?
Me Buakwa South. Me
Buakwa South. Chebi factory na yeso chebi. Bon, Kwabena, say kwan say wo ba chew. Ebiom taxes there send ya media trim kan no. Ghana for ya man boy for say you pay tax to ya. Yenim say ogudie na so your responsibility say you to tax. Inti Ghana for ya you say be to tax. Na mom si you to tax na nyam aban no de ye no. Ati ase premain bra aban ne de bono. Na mi di kaka. O to be for private jet. Hwe ne bo Emma one MP so on free America embra Ghana embeto aba for e levy. Unim car a buying boy on that day. And someone de sika no to agropress ha. Emma Ghana ni na o tax ne be bre say me was ye was ase wa ha. Utu in sase no mu egudie. Still, wo so get tax. O the tax na ne wo di ye nie. Hwe ye started this year I say economy no enwa kire. Data ni here, statistical service from May 2021 up through July 2021 all the way to April 2022 11 months every time there inflation ekosoro okrum ha economy no enjira na so the projections are here some economists are projected say by July say you stop the way here by July be do 40% inflation. Why?
When the city collapses.
Why? You say okaka na twum say Ukraine ne Russia. Or da bon won for inside. Endra World Food Program. Omo director. E ka say o BBC. Ne how kese pa besides say Ukraine produce the basics for production of fertilizer no. Wheat Ukraine for produced last year. All warehouse. Send akọ European countries through shipping vessels near there eba no. Russia fa block into wheat no aka warehouses so. Ebiom warehouses ni bi won kwa war no bombs na aka no ama warehouses no ase into wheat me produce ko gum na ase. Europe for no dwen wheat ho ombenya ye brodo. Ne aduane ombenya efi wheat ni mu ewo Europe no na omodwen ho. O Ghana o interest in say o asase nyantam da ho no ma onkrofo no ye wheat ne ye di ase adawo Ghana fo pe bro ye pe banche ye pe brode ye pe bayire na ye nya emo aka ho na ye didi simple na sa aban no entumi anya hihede ama ye ntumi anya nduane mbu ama manfo enya bi endi ama aduane bo kosoro ama na affect inflation a what they call say Ukraine. Kwabena say na twum di kankan o say last year 2021 induane a Ghana kuafo produce ye bi ko warehouse ye ko dry bi near that embra so an ye pie nti sa 2021 cost no and effect eninie the only price changer ebeba so and only cost input ebeba so transportation nti no fuel price na cost no and am na adjust that cost. We share the current data from the statistical service. Food inflation, as you rightly said, it's about 26%. We share your inflation basket. Basket, you know, you have inflation or kruma. The food and beverages company is the biggest. And then no more do pass. Say no more boko so krum ha. Send you fast so you calculate. You fa eduane no say eduane no more do pa. It is say eduane no more do on the biggest stakeholder. Say you calculate inflation wa. I then I want share no emba form. Say ne ba form and ni weight ne ba form nti am inflation ne nkosoro. What am I can say? Me I have planting for food and jobs for 5.5 years. Now be catch me say after 5.5 years you know still eduane bo ekosoro ama food basket you know and the inflation ne kosoro a na ye koya na e ba ye. Oka organic fertilizer. Sebi amafo e hwe mano da sumi ne so. Nentwibini a original source of fertilizer. The government policy would have been said, cattle nentwie ne nam gogo ho ne adade esense nkofuofuo ne adade yen sredo obia what you say into one specific area na yem grass no mundidi wo ho droppings no anape bia ne yesesa enti yesesa na this assembly no e dey compost plant say ye dey nete efra nentwibini no ne adi nwura ne adade eguso ne abari and I say ye tutu for ye dey ahye ho enti e bia for the next 3 months ne ye water so no every 3 months bia ne ye kotu utu fertilizer o Kwabena fertilizer mua ye ko school ni e say mixed farming unya imponche kakra na ndwan kakra no na udua brode ne eburu kakra enti utwa brode ahaban na o de ma ndwan na no omwedi omu toilet no omu bini no na wafa na o de siesie asase no na ma brode nsu nyi
nkukọ eja nan kra no nkukọ eja nan kra poultry dey say mafofi Côte d'Ivoire beto de ko yes kabra ni yesu no na me papa kuko ye ne ma hodo na o ye na nkuko eyi na
enti sa animdie no papa mu nim ye na nanom nim dadado ye so na nanom nim e ba ne se na ende se Ghana ye se ye fertilizer e je se ye se ye ko Ukraine e ko top phosphate and say be fertilizer aden in wura say wo policy na so wo leadership a ne yesa ban ne say why ye nya omampani bo okro mo na fa general champo also press feed yourself obi anya backyard garden
ye bi papa so aba papa
enti say aban no we project say inflation say me di kan kiro since May last year e kwosoro enti who said the food basket no na e twen ade no kwosoro enti food problem enti say dia Ghana for ye launch backyard garden operation backyard garden obi anya backyard garden ni aban say oh ye kwosesa nentwibini ye a aban package wa mix egu fertilizer box maybe a half bi na this assembly in the aba you use information service for vans and pickups in here now announce so me Mr. obi backyard garden bia no beje kakra e fe kopete so if even in case say if the soil is not fertile so asase no enya nodie wo mu a ebetumi aboa ye mfa bi nhyem nanka obehu aduane ebebu oko other places outside Accra then Tamone or someone sit the meeting there mimi say me fee brother the whole year meto brother mentor brother more than once the whole year because brother ebetumi ya available me be kwa check what am I can say you be encourage Ghana for aban aye backyard gardener ebema pressure e food prices no so better ebiom say government take agric seriously na wa chef fertilizer say fertilizer no uyi ni mu ewa o agriculture say no ye fertilizer mu a enye ye sabani enya sa etrimpo no a ebetumi aboa ama ye nya fertilizer chef fertilizer no ewa local government sector ama na aboa ye farmers no ni aban ekoi say president na no dem say ye ready say betua tax be mama ne yon wan say another tax be ba last year yeah, the budget last 2 years, the budget ever for last year, they introduced COVID-19 levy, say because COVID-19 happened to introduce levy. That are now buying the COVID-19 a dry assume say anything economy ejija. See the Russian-Ukraine war. You show near the Russian-Ukraine war levy. Abreye next time. You show near the free SHS levy. Yeah, the abreye next time. Yeah, best
okay.
Yeah, best yeah. Also, bibiniman temu ya mini akebi trim kebi. Also, West Africa here. Togo inflation rate as of March to April 8.7. Single digit. Ivory Coast 4.5 March. Nigeria 15.7. Ghana 23.6. Kwabena, where you kwaya na buy?
And still counting. Enti ye hwe Jacob we say okay, OPK go so the man in pink is an NDC man with submission, but another Dan Kweku Fodo and MPP have managed the economy far better than the Mahama and NDC because we are not under IMF restrictions. Jacob Westerossi, Esuman, don't behave as if NDC people have not ruled Ghana before. We don't have short memory. And Joseph Akroma, or say why? If someone is saying the fact, you always the fact always the person belongs to NDC. Or say we must think as Ghanaians.
Exactly.
Now, Abdul Awal or say UTV, good morning to you or wonderful work done to Ghanaians every day. Talking about the taxes and how our leaders use it. The pink-shirted man mentioned that government has taken or rented a private jet for one MP to come to vote in parliament. Fallacy and a lie.
Oh, that's nice.
really.
I just
Me say you see you the minimum by you say. Okay. Okay. Wait, yeah, sorry, doc. Me more 2 minutes pe. Na yenhwe. Say no inflation be a keke kwe no. Yen to transport fare mu no, and na 23.6%. And to transport fare mu this month, which is May. Obviously, e be affect say aduane bo. Aduane bo nso aduane and now o share inflation ya a year 26%, you know. And are you anticipating say ebe kosoro? Say ebe kosoro e de ne yenye na mana kosoro na gina bibie gina na say abafam.
Okay. Anticipation. Yes. I expect that it will go up. So, what do we do?
Yes.
To
say ba mana abafam.
tame the rate? Say nebe kosoro na. Okay. Ben was talking about the component of, food items in the inflation basket. But you see, there is another huge elephant, a workroom.
I need your way.
It's about how we treat our own cedi as against major trading currencies. So let's use the dollar. You have a situation where we tend to respect the dollar more. So even if it is $20, bill, you hold it in high esteem. If it is 200 cedis note, no problem. My proposal and my suggestion is that in order for us, because we need to be able to psychologically begin to tame the effect of the dollar on our minds. Because the more the dollar power goes up, the more the cedi comes down. And then the effect will be on price increases. So I am saying that the major routes of dollar consumption are the ports, the seaports, the airports, and then the land ports, if you call it so. We have a practice where we price the dollar on weekly basis at the ports. So at the beginning of every week, the rate will come from, is it Ministry of Trade or Bank of Ghana, and say that this week, the dollar is, let's say, 7.3. I'm just mentioning the figure. A week later, another rate will come again. It could be the same 7.3, it could be 7.4, it could be less. And this is not difficult to do. Government should be able to straight away say that the pricing window for the dollar should be half yearly. This one immediately. What that means is that the moment you go to price that, okay, it is 7 point whatever rate, the next time you are reviewing will be in 6 months' time. That therefore means that when somebody is clearing items from the port, he knows that he is using 7.5. When he's sending items out of the port, he knows that his cost component in relation to the dollar is this amount. Now, if that happens, it can even happen that in the market itself, that is the normal transaction, the rate will be a little bit higher. But because these are major consumption routes for the dollar or for the foreign currency, it will begin to tame the process down. Just like the way we're looking at what should we do in order to reduce the weight of or the rate of inflation of food in the inflation basket. So my proposal is that we should go to the port and reorganize our pricing to be a 6-month window. this one immediately will be like, hey, we're going to lose money. I mean, but in the long run, it will create a bit of confidence in the system. And over a period of time, we'll begin to, as the case may be, de-dollarize the economy gradually going forward. And in fact, it cannot be only one action. There are multiples of actions that we need to take. One is that one. The second aspect is how we take care of our currency itself. The extent to which, if you are holding the cedi, how do you take care of it?
So
these are serious issues.
Dollar de tembia na etia. So you see the near no.
So we have to look at that one too. And then another component has to do with the profits that we anticipate on the things that we sell. So if somebody goes to Techima to buy a bag of maize and brings it to Accra and mills the maize and uses it to prepare kenkey, what should be the reasonable profit margin that this business lady should make on a bag of maize? So that we will say that, okay, if you have a bucket of maize and it is 200 cedis, what's the price?
A bucket of maize.
Yes. A bag. 25.
A bag of maize.
Yes.
50 kg.
Yeah, okay, maybe 50 kg.
50 kg around 180, getting to 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you mill that and you are selling it to the public, your profit margin should not exceed a certain percentage. You see, these are small things that we can start to do in the economy. And then all together, it will begin to create that impact that we need. These are things that you say, oh, no. But it's actually the foundations of what we are talking about.
Okay. Doc, but that's no paper so nya breba said, what the kakra be so
when I'm talking, forget to do the tree.
Some brofuna satiba oban tent ma tree ni beba. I'm on for caso cabro for pa. So any day. Any day dikent in hwe.
Forgive me.
Me waiting for on the inflation. On we say the sooner that I nim ever inflation ho yes causes say demand pull inflation and supply push inflation. But there is another one yes silent yen kan ho asem. It me di inflation nya kwan ya nyoma fa so kosoro expectations. Normally no economists yen amon kan ho asem papa. Say in the short term sa ban beboa ama ya manage this inflation no to control expectations. Okay, say before then dollar no ekoya badaban kan say odi sika bi begum no na fe dollar na gina. So metewo meton nyoma meton aburo ton menim say ekina aburo bedu sei ade echi ebedu sei ade echi bedu sei. The moment I almost a bro free baby ba some few months ago, omo de bro free Brazil, Ghana de bro free Brazil, Argentina, eba na ye de my poultry and open secret e obi anim. But the moment I almost a bro banana na fe I say a bro price no a control kakra you must say the what system ni mu asan I so be good. Enti me dia suggestion say government should control our expectation. In terms of exchange rate, in terms of food prices,
it is very.
Say, you back to me. You see, and I'm saying, any politics in free war. Government say we import to maize their bed now, and this is sorry. But we are going to say, anya be drastic and any China. You better July. I can't say by July inflation better be 40. No, and try better how. Enti. Yan fan to say ni we beka we ni de we beka we ni yan hwe ne e beboa o man no say ya bro na say ya import in the short term Ghana for e bu nyina monte ase problem ni nie poultry industry egu omo food we egu enti for the short term in the next 4 months no aban eboa a import ya bro e dia begum en control price kakra na yan di ahome. Say sika your reserve be na say your pump kakra gum emma expectation say dollar on say dollar is about bedu 7.8 bm ye gyina ho nyame amoa na te ye ti nkensenya ye hwe ya 9 kura ye ntumi nso ye mu ye bekwa koduru 10 enti ye make those awareness government should take those initiatives na ye hu se nneoma eyeye but e ba se onneoma mu ayedin enti mumia mu ayimu muntu eto muntu bia obia o make projections enne bia no onim say November June nneoma mu be yedin achen near ye in May because here I took petrol mu say I took car to mu ECG say opebi aka ho Ghana water say opebi aka ho ekine beba the take us beba say omo so adjust omo prices yanwe ne ye and control this expectations e what system ni mu a ba bi e beduru no anwe be gi ensem
that's doc wo kasa na wo kan say bi na you obi Joseph Amwako was good morning Agya Kwabena na maje no so pa na some o kan ye or say why do they sell Ghana chocolate made in Ghana at Kotoka International Airport duty free in dollars instead of cedis? It's here chocolate here na Ghana ha. I ton no Kotoka no International Airport no. Ye ton no cedis, ye ton no dollars. It's be na dollar ni nya ahode change. 1 minute ni sorry.
Kwabena,
yes, sir.
One of the biggest issues affecting aban Ghana ha. Edi enya pa. Enya atwo. No kura yendi ema ye ho. Yen hwe boni anim nka e kroma. And you do baby. Bank of Ghana issue directive. Say ma obia and ton ade in dollars e okroma. Now yes a criminal and you be arrested and jailed. Me boa.
Yes.
You nim hotels you go to prices in dollars e okroma. Kwabena. O aban na kasa airport wa kasa no wo the stores ama say onkrofo entonton nyoma wo airport one na wo dan wo di amanko for say mon ton ade wo mu no nkofo ne ton nyoma in dollars now we say oni obi o sorry Monday morning be we release dollar exchange rate e wo port tenia doc di kankan no na u twa wan ka jan say obi ton ade obi the rent and then my rent in dollars. I will say, umuna utuko apai. Empene, tie.
I say empene.
Ni asa ban ye no, ebinie. One, asa ban ehwe say obeye planting for food and jobs sir. Aban emfa nani nkoso no onye ni yie. O encourage backyard garden. Operation feed yourself strategy no. E ho no Ghana ya ye bi pen. On peke no encourage obi bia say ono so enkoye backyard garden ebiom buffer stock esa buy ni call seriously now all this same senior say eduane na Ghana for be produce under the backyard garden under proper operation feed yourself no say baso a ye betumi de eduane ni bi esie brode a ye de be sie banche ye de be sie Kwabena when say this Ghana a crab and chief since 2019 a crab and chief fit China abakroma.
Ba say nya no kore.
Yo, the say report no ho de. Na yemfa duane ni bi nsie ama yankwa crab and chief fit China abakroma. Yankwa kra ebro emfi Brazil ni Argentina abakroma. Say in the name of feeding Ghanaians and as a feeding Ghanaian poultry. Ebiom Kwabena, I don't know if you know any of the farmers outside the capital. Extension services, district extension officers are very lazy, are uncommitted, and very uncooperative. This is the extension officer and the office one more. Obetu anamau akoshe in a kuayo ekoso awon important no be register farmers no na all the farmers ni egu process bi so bo omo na omo farm no na ndode no ebe koso no ote office ena omo bosom so na salary beba na wakose meeting ase meeting no kono be allowance so the extension officers are concerned are working like civil servants. They are not interested. Practically they are not there. Some of them are farms obe kono ne fuom saban say obeboa kuaya omo na ni extension officers na what this assemblies no very very seriously. Without them, our farmers will continue the way that they are continuing, and it will not take us anywhere. Okay. The food component of the inflation basket, you know, and that cost
me da say, and I didn't come to training in Abesu. Ameda Benjamin Suman, or executive director de ma Solidar Ghana, Medanase, and I feel Dr. Adams Asafu Tay, no see a senior economist or UPSC, and I feel Eric Amakuchum, or no MPP, I'm a Yukunu Link Back on near Bresse.
Come, the last one be. See, government subsidized fertilizer, 50 kg, 50 kilograms. Last year, it was 96 cedis. CCA, a bimbayo, by projection, they say, because of dollar now, across road, you are going to buy it at 250 Ghana cedis.
And 96 cedis, no?
96 cedis. 250.
Okay.
OP market, fertilizer amount for private sector companies, they buy, and I ton. And it was 120 last year. CCA private companies, air ton 420.
That's right.
We decide that yede go in the aswa yede curly weeds ama eduano no plant bit me gina wo 2021 we're buying it at 16 cedis. Say ocean box na 16 cedis 67, you know, per unit. 16 cedis 67 pesos. See almost ton per unit 50 Ghana cedis per liter. Ebio oshe akate akate what can I say akate star. I'm from popular popular edudu. This is a price on akosoro more. Yeah, the 50 Ghana cedi abeka ho. What I say? That is how things are. It was selling at 430 cedis. Now it's selling at 430 cedis when it used to be about 35 cedi per liter at that time. But it was in Semu 444 into the Osha.
Yes, we don't agree. Me da say Eric Amakuchum nso baby wono MPP communication team members no mu ba ko no kra nso pese oye organizer edema MPP amayoku no wono nso baby bibi nti ono di kan ekoja yen na fe set oforuchum ono finance and economist wa ben papa wo sikasem tutu mu wono nso enya bre nidin no set oforuchum asi ono so MD managing director edema Alliance Trust wono so baby beda o mase so munya abre eba mi so bidin de Agya Kwabena production team no meda o mase na mu no chena owura wade una pani a woda Freedom Hills Hotel a wo kwa unkwatia o chena wa woda nti yema happy birthday in advance sanso na me mama ba ko kumase mama Angelina Boachi ansa manji anopai me ma wachi bidin de Agya Kwabena beda obi mpase Madam cameraman ase, Madam Ruchi ase, na Madam wampo na baby we. Omo bengi na hano. Na Randy, na Macho, na fe Mustafa, na fe Fati Al Hassan, na fe Mark Pupu. Ono vice ho, vice aso no wo. Osi do rough. Madam masise omunya abre eba ye ba kona cameraman we de minim ni din. I'm said that you me di na mabobi adomdom ye ne a wo se friend say Steven yo wo de member next week na mabo ama no yakopɔ ye adom a da sene de be sen hia na yatumi edi nkom me da masese munya abre baaye wo so me da sese unya abre na hwe ye yakramo